Hi all, welcome to StarAgile's YouTube channel. I am Vishak and today let us together dive into the chapter 1 of the PMP comprehensive course wherein we'll be exploring the fundamentals of project management. Before we jump in, I just want you to ensure that you guys are in the right hands. About my background, I breathe project management throughout my career. My experience spans across companies like Ingersoll Rand, Ola Cabs, Ernst & Young, which spans across different domains like manufacturing, e-commerce and consulting. About my training background, more than 10,000 people have passed PMP exam through me. And the founder of PMP, Lee Lambert, lovingly calls me PMP production machine. So, whether you are stepping into the field of project management or you are already having a feeling that you are managing project, not leading it, I want to lead project with confidence. Like that, if you are stuck in your mind, I am here to take you to the destination. In this video, you will learn what is project and what is project management. What do we say as the 6 constraints of project management? Why PMP is a powerful career move for you? Am I eligible for PMP? And if yes, what is the examination criteria? What sort of questions? What is the breakup? Are you really serious about PMP getting certified by PMI? Click on the StarAgile course link below. I will be able to help you throughout this journey. Let's get this started. Hi all, welcome to the first chapter of the PMP comprehensive program. I know most of you guys who are watching this video, you are very keen to pursue the PMP, Project Management Professional course. But before we start, let us understand some very basic things. For example, what is a project? What is project management? Like that kind of thing. Now, when I tell about the term project, I always feel this term is more associated in the corporate. People say IT project manager. People say an automation project manager, supply chain project manager, like that. But ever since I heard about project management, I have started observing project management in every facets of life. It is omnipresent. I would say a farmer who is in the agricultural field, he is also doing a project some way or other. Maybe he is not even realizing that. That is what I want to convey about projects. So what do you mean by project? It is something which has got a start date and an end date. And from that journey from start date to end date, we have to achieve a goal. You can do it alone or as a team. But is God have given us enough of resources to do that? No. So if I rephrase the definition of a project is an initiative which has got a start date, end date, a clear goal and limited resources. Resources, when I say, it can be time. Time is ticking, time is keep on running. Or we have got limited money or limited infrastructure or equipments to support us in our mission to achieve the project end goal. Now, when I say resources as constraints, I told in a very casual way resources. But technically, as a project manager, when we say constraints, these are what we will see in the next slides. Scope. Scope means what are we going to achieve out of a project? What do you want, you tell me? Like that when we ask, no, casually, that is what is scope. Now, people have, when you ask someone what do you want to do in life, what do you want to eat, they will tell their ambitious wishes. But then we will tell, hey, we have got a cap. This much money only I can dedicate for the scope. Like that when we tell, then comes the cost. So scope, cost, we are adding 2 constraints. Not at over. Time is also a constraint because I cannot keep waiting for 5 years. I cannot keep waiting for 2 months. So now if I connect all the 3, project management is managing that triple constraints of cost, scope and schedule. Just delivering something within a budget and within a timeline is not enough. There are other factors as well. Quality. I can deliver something, I can deliver a training, maybe someone else can also deliver a training. Someone can cook a food and deliver it on your table. Someone else can also cook the same food, but what differs is the quality. So, in the fight of the triple constraints called as scope, cost and schedule, we should not forget about quality as well. So, quality is that perfection with which that scope is being delivered. Now, Managing these four is not at all just project management. We also have to consider risk. Risk means what? I know something is going to happen. Am I prepared for it? Like that, when we check ourselves as a team, that is what I would say risk management. And finally, resources. Usually people connect cost with resources, but I would like to differentiate. Money is obviously a resource. Money can buy everything, but money cannot buy everything. The word everything, sometimes it's not possible. Some things are resource centric. So resources is also limited. Now, if we connect the dots, guys, please focus. We have got scope, cost, schedule, which are the three constraints. Along with that, quality, risk, and resources. So what is a project manager? He is a magician who is trying to connect all the 6 constraints. Not only just connect, beautifully juggling all the 6 constraints, and right from start to end, he's moving seamlessly without stress and delivering the end result with perfection. That is what I would say a project manager is all about. Now, that magical show of managing the triple constraints is what I would say project management. How do you navigate through different risks? How do you navigate without compromising the quality? Like that, when we are managing the project, that is when we say that project management is a methodological approach. It is not something which anyone can do. Some people, it comes as an intuition. But what is project management? It's a rigid framework which we learn, which we can apply in our day-to-day projects, where we come to know across some tools, some techniques by which we can better manage scope. We can better manage the schedule. For example, someone who is knowing project management, the way that person delivers a project, let's say constructing a building or delivering a new product, that will be more perfect than someone who don't know the art of project management. Now, you guys are here for the PMP certificate, the most sought after, the gold standard certification in the field of project management. Many of you guys will be knowing most of the benefits of PMP, but just to put in finger points, some obvious benefits I would say: salary boom. Obviously, it has been proven, there is a data from the PMI salary standards that people, the project managers who are PMP certified, they are earning a higher salary than the project managers who are not certified. And second point, it's a global recognized certificate. PMI, Project Management Institute, it has got PMP holders across the globe. Not even a single continent is there where there are no proud PMP certified holders. And thirdly, the job opportunities. These days in job portals, they have put it mandatory. PMP certification is mandatory, like that. That means the recruiters are understanding the value of PMP. And let's not simply tell it's only for the money, salary, for job opportunity, something like that. See, human mind is full of enthusiasm to learn something new. So this is a continuous learning opportunity. It has been quite a while, all of you guys who are watching this video, it has been quite a while since you graduated. So it's time to upskill. It's time to learn something new. So I would say continuous learning opportunity you get through once you enroll in a PMP program. Now, one more point is, as a project manager, we should also be aware about the risk management. Because I would say a project manager is someone who can forecast, who has got a cognizance of what can possibly happen wrong. So assessing the risk management is also one of the traits of a project manager. And maybe some of you guys who are watching this video, you will already be having a title as a project manager. But sky is the limit. Once you're done with this PMP certificate, you can aim for bigger, challenging projects. And ultimately, at the end of the day, experience and certification matters. So that is why many of the audience who are listening to this video are here for this project management course. Apart from that, it helps us how to resolve problems, problem-solving skills. The course takes a deep dive into problem-solving skills, root cause analysis, how to build a strong team, how to be a strong leader. And finally, let's be very honest, adding PMP to your name. It's a style. That's it. These are the top reasons why you should get PMP certified. Now, Regarding the eligibility criteria, I would say this course is not applicable for anyone who is a fresher. Hey, I just graduated in last year only. Can I try PMP? I would say no. Come on, go get some exposure in the corporate. You learn how things are messed up, how things are getting messed up, or if things are happening properly, share back to us. So without corporate experience, this course you cannot touch. So PMI recommends, Project Management Institute recommends that you should have an experience of driving projects of 3 years if you are a graduation holder having a graduation certificate. Now, if you are a diploma holder, then you should have 5 years of experience of leading projects. At this moment, I just want to clarify one thing. Your designation need not be a project manager, but you should have delivered projects. Maybe you can be a team lead. You can be a business analyst, but you have a stint of leading a team, delivering a project. That should be fine. But you should have demonstrated project management experience. So this is a mandatory criteria for you to enroll in this PMP program and get yourself PMP certified. Not only that, you have to attend a course which is taken by an authorized training partner like StarAgile and an authorized trainer like me. That is very, very mandatory. 35 hours of training completion is another mandatory criteria. If you have not enrolled with an authorized training partner, then you will not be able to apply. So just take a back step and see whether you fulfill the eligibility criteria, that is the work experience, that is what you have to check. Secondly, if you fulfill the work experience, what are you waiting for? Try enrolling in a good institute like StarAgile, what you are watching right now, the video, and make yourself PMP certified in the quickest possible time. Now, regarding the examination pattern, I would say very hard exam because it tests your emotional, situational skills in 230 minutes. And in that 230 minutes, you are bombarded with 180 questions. I know most of you guys who are watching this video, it has been quite a while since you graduated from college. So let us be honest, our reading skills are pretty low. We cannot read the same way when we were in college or we were in school. Now we are good in something else. There is no doubt in that. We are good in automation, we are good in Excel, we are good in Power BI, but our deciphering skills, our reading and interpretation skills have come down. So why I say PMP is one of the toughest exams is because of this time constraints. 180 questions in 230 minutes. That means if you look at the average time, just check, let's sharpen your high school math. If you look at the average time, it is coming to 76 seconds. That's what we have per question. Average time. In that 76 seconds, you have to read through 4-5 paragraphs of the question, and mostly the PMP questions are multiple choice. There will be 4 to 5 choices. Each of the choices you have to read, and then finally you have to arrive at a correct answer. Come on, boy. It's a very tough task, but with the right mindset, you can crack this exam in the first attempt, in the shortest period of time, without going through tons and tons of book. This is what I recommend to all my students. Do you really need to go through the PMBOK? Not necessary. You just need to have the PMI mindset, which you can get if you are enrolling with the right training partner. Now, how the exam is going to test you? We are having 3 domains: people, process, business environment. When you say people management, that is a secret. Project management, I say 80% is people management. If you get the people engaged well, when I say people, it's not my team alone. Senior stakeholders, sponsors, everyone. If I'm able to manage them well, if I'm able to engage them well, then half our job is done. And PMI knows that very well. So that's why 42% of the domain questions is related to people. When I say people, the topics like communication management, stakeholder engagement, how do you create a team charter and make sure that the team follows it, focusing on the servant leadership. These are some of the traits which are coming under the people domain. Now, the next most important thing is without process, nothing will be successful. So the second one is process domain. Process means as a project manager, you should have a thorough idea of the framework, different processes like risk management. How is risk management done? How is change management done? How do we close a project in case of an emergency? This is what is a process knowledge. These two coupled together, that comes to around 92%. That makes almost a complete project manager. But still, 8% is there. This is what we call as business environment. Business environment means, as a project manager, see, this is always I tell, project manager is like a frog in the well. But that doesn't mean that, oh yeah, I'm a frog in the well, I don't have to worry about anything else. No. Being a frog in the well, are you aware of what is happening outside the well? That is what. As a project manager, you should know about the organizational guidelines. Whichever country you belong to, what is the rule of the land? What are the compliances? What are the standards in your industry? Different industries have different standards. Automotive industry have got its own standard. Telecom has got its own regulations. Food and safety standards. Whether you do a project in India or in Middle East, the law is different. So, little bit, ignorance is not an excuse. Little bit you should have a knowledge about business environment as well. Now, the official guide which PMI recommends for this exam is what we call as the PMBOK, Project Management Book of Knowledge. This Project Management Book of Knowledge, this keeps undergoing revisions. When I cleared the PMP at an age of 24, I was referring to the 3rd edition of the PMBOK. Now we are in the 7th edition and we will be soon moving to the 8th edition. Every edition brings some new knowledge to the entire project management fraternity. Having said that, ideally, if you want to clear PMP in the first attempt, you have to go through the PMBOK. Conditions apply because it's a very humongous task. Trust me, if I tell you the page numbers, you guys will pause the video and go to some other certification because it's almost 1000 pages. That is what is a PMBOK Book of Knowledge. So, I really don't recommend every student of mine to go through the PMBOK. I understand that it is the Bible, but there are authorized training partners who can deliver the knowledge with bare minimum efforts you have to go through. You don't have to go through the entire PMBOK. If you are going through, it will take minimum 3 to 4 months. But I recommend my students just believe in the curriculum which is created by the authorized training partners like me and believe in the mindset. You will be able to easily swim through the PMP journey. Now, regarding the money part, good things don't come for free. Same is the case with PMP. So, there is a multiple payment packages. If you are a member of PMI, PMP certification with PMI membership, that comes to $425 US dollars. Now, if you are not a member of PMI, then the examination fees comes to $575. But I would say, why should you be not a member of PMI? See, one very transparent benefit of being a member of PMI is that PMI means Project Management Institute, the body which is authorizing this PMP certification. So one of the very valid reasons why you should become a member of PMI is that the examination fees is slashed. But I would say not only that, it's a door which is opening a lot of opportunities, I should say. In fact, I say to my students, your real learning starts once you clear PMP. Once you clear PMP, you will be having access because you become a member of PMI by default and you have access to a lot of case studies, a lot of templates. You can read about latest guidelines because today the world is buzzing with the word artificial intelligence. So there will be courses launched in the PMI portal, how AI can help project managers. And this is a latest salary guide. Like that, a lot of documents, a lot of resources. So if you are a keen learner, this is the first step, I would say, getting yourself PMP certified. So being a member have its own benefit. And you'll also get to know about some virtual meetings, local chapter events. Across the world, every big cities across the world, they have got a 1 or 2 chapters, PMI chapters. So they conduct local events where get together, networking or knowledge sharing, everything happens. So it's good to be associated with that PMI bandwagon. So it's good to be a member. Now, in case you are going for re-examination, then also there is a differential pricing. For PMI members, it comes to 275. For non-PMI members, it comes to 375. But you know what? I tell to my students, there is no what if. Why should there be a what if? I know what is that what if which is going through your mind. What if I fail in the exam? I would say, some things in life don't have a second chance. Think like that. This PMP exam is also like that. Why should you think about a second chance? Because I recommend that this is a project. Have you taken the first step in that project of getting yourself PMP certified? Then let the last step also be met in the right date. Don't let a hope, I will not say the hope, don't be hopeless telling that, what if I fail? Should I appear again? Like that and all, don't worry, but it's my responsibility to communicate to you that the reapplication or the re-examination fees is $275. And once you're done with this PMP, you cannot just, okay, I'm done with PMP, I can forget whatever about project management. It's not like that. You have to keep upgrading your knowledge. You have to be part of the ecosystem. For that, what you should do? You should keep renewing your certificate every 3 years. How do we renew? In 3 years, you have to accumulate 60 PDU. PDU stands for Professional Development Units. How you can accumulate it? Let me tell you, there is a very easy, lazy way. Sitting at home and listening to some podcast, some virtual meetings if you can attend from home. That is an easy, lazy way. But there is a good way wherein you can attend some PMI events or any other events related to project management. If you check with the event organizers, they will tell that, yeah, we are offering 6 PDUs for this event. We are offering 3 PDUs, like that they will tell. So if you attend those events, then also you can accumulate your PDUs. And by the time you clock your 60 PDUs, you have to renew your certification. If not renewed, the certification will be considered as suspended for 1 year. In 1 year also, if you do not renew, it is considered as expired. I don't think so you want the certificate to get expired because you yourself have put a lot of efforts and you understand the value of this certificate, how it helps in your corporate, how it helps in your job switching, etc. So don't let this certification expire. Now, let us come to the main part. Salary is a main concern. We say career progression, we say learning, we say skill set upgradation, but ultimately at the end of the day, what is the purpose of we guys doing any certification, any MBA program? There is definitely a role played by a salary increase. This is the most awaited part most of you guys were waiting for in this series. So here is the truth. This is not just a marketing brochure or a sales collateral. These are actually the PMI salary guide standards. These are official data which is populated by thousands of project managers across the globe, across different industries. Now, just to have an overview of the different designations, once you are done with the PMP, you can apply in the job portals for titles like program manager. Obviously, project manager, it goes without saying, program manager, operations manager. This sounds contradicting, but there are a lot of companies who hire for operations manager, senior operations manager, operations head, where they expect. They mention clearly PMP is mandatory. That is the power of PMP. Because operations is something which is conflicting with projects. If I get by the definition, operations is something which is ongoing. Project is something which has got a start date and an end date, and it is temporary. But still, an operation is an ongoing work, but it still composes of a lot of small projects. This many great corporate leaders know that. That's why, even for operations manager kind of roles, PMP is considered as mandatory these days. Then, director, vice president, and domain-specific project manager roles. Obviously, if you are applying for vice president kind of roles, director, senior director kind of roles, definitely PMP is considered as mandatory by different companies. And domain specific project management, construction project manager, automotive project manager, IT project manager, like that and all. So there, not just PMP is enough. Let me be very honest. You should be a domain expert. For example, if you are applying for a construction project manager kind of role, oh yeah, I'm into this field for the last 20 years. I know in and out about construction. Now, I'm PMP certified also. So, let me give a chance in this role. Let me try myself. Like that, you should have a feeling. So, you can apply for construction project management kind of roles, any domain kind of roles. Now, look at the salary bucket. So, the entry level is mostly in the range 10 lakhs, 13 lakhs. That is what is the power of PMP. The minimum salary. Imagine you have bare minimum 3 years of work experience. You can confidently demand for, hey, this is a baseline. See, this is a salary guide standards. I'm expecting this much of compensation. So that is entry level compensation. And it can go all the way up to 75 lakhs, 80 lakhs if you are applying for director, VP kind of roles. These are like official data. So you can always tell at the time of negotiation to the recruiter that this is what I'm expecting. For some other domains and some other designations, as in the next slide, associate director, senior technical project manager or senior technical program manager. That is when I told you, you are good in something else and now I am PMP certified also. So I'm eligible for this role. Like that you can confidently pitch in the interviews. So those kind of roles, the salary go up to 80 lakhs. That is a power, that is a leverage PMP is going to give you. And finally, recently, there are a lot of consultant kind of roles coming into picture where you are an expert in a particular domain, let's say banking, pharmaceutical, automobile. Now, you are being approached by project managers in those industries and they say that, hey, can you help me? I'm stuck in this problem. What is that you think is right? That they are seeking your guidance. That is what is project consulting. So there are a variety of designations, senior project consultant, associate project consultant, like that and all. So that also have got a good opportunity and the salary is usually in the range 30 lakhs. This is what it is. So next time when you negotiate, don't baselessly negotiate. You have the salary guide right in front of your table and you talk with proper data when you negotiate in front of the recruiter. Now, I told you PMI is a global institute and PMP certificate is a widely recognized gold standard certification in project management. So across the world, South America, North America, Middle East, Europe, Australia, India, everywhere you can see PMP certification holders are in demand. And this is an increment, this is a jump, growth in salary they have got. As you can see, the people who are in the bracket 3 years to 5 years, they are reaping the maximum benefit out of this certification. 3 years is not just 3 years of experience. What it refers to is 3 years of leading project experience. So somewhere I would say mid-career professional, this certification will give you a significant boost. Are you a manager? Are you stuck in a managerial role? You can be a leader. And you can get a fantastic increment. The average increment, as you can look in this slide, the top increment is up to 50% in some countries. You can see in some other countries, this is the increment which is offered by recruiters once they hire PMP certified holders. And now you guys have heard about this salary part and you will be really excited. Oh, come on, tell me more details. How can I be PMP certified? If that is what is going through your mind, then here is a roadmap. So the first thing is, before you get yourself disappointed at the last moment, double check the eligibility criteria. Like I told you, are you having 3+ years of leading projects? That experience? If that is the case, you can be a graduate with a 4 years of degree. Or do you have 5 years of experience? That is required for a diploma holder. Just double check this to see whether you have the experience, work experience of leading projects. If that is the case, next step is finding out a right institute. I would say an authorized institute, ATP, authorized training partner. PMI have given the rights only to the authorized training partners to conduct PMP trainings. So make sure that you end up in enrolling in a right training institute. So then step 2 is enroll in the PMP course. Now, the step 3 is submit the application. By the time you have completed your course, the time have come to apply. When you apply, the PMI checks the previous 2 criteria. First criteria is your work experience. Do you have 3+ years for the graduate plus 4 years of degree? Do you have 5+ years of experience for the people who are diploma holders? They will check that criteria. Secondly, they will also check with whom you enrolled in the training program. So please make sure you are enrolling with the authorized training partner. A course completion certificate is required at the time of application. In case it is picked up for audit, they will ask you to upload the course completion certificate which you get from the institute with whom you enrolled. So please make sure you double check the institute's credentials. Third one, once you have completed the journey, the preparation journey, it's time for you to apply. Considering the previous eligibility criteria and the course completion, make sure that you apply. Once you have applied, then starts your real self-study. I would say some people take 3-4 months. Some people, I should say, it's my personal happiness. Some people clear, some of my students in 24 hours itself from the last day of the training. So if you are confident enough, you can give the exam within 24 hours after the training gets over. Provided all your application, exam, scheduling part, everything is done parallelly. This is what I'm talking like a project manager. Provided all your tasks are going on in parallel, then you can schedule your exam within 1 week after the training completion. Why not? And then once you are taking the exam, which is a step number 5, once you take the exam, I hope everyone who is watching this video, you enroll in the right training institute and you end up in the hands of right trainers like me, and you will see the news flashing on the screen. Yeah, I've given the PMP exam and I've become myself PMP certified. Hopefully, let's hope that that news comes on your screen. Let's manifest that. Cleared PMP exam. You watching this video, you have successfully cleared the PMP exam. Like that, a message will pop up on your screen. Now, regarding the taking exam part, let me just give you an overview. There are 2 possibilities. You can give the exam from an authorized institute, which is officially partnering with PMI. Or you can take it from your home as well, or any office setup, whichever. What I meant is, you can take it up from your home or from your office, provided you have got a very stable internet connection and no one is disturbing you during the exam and there is no power failure. Even if there is a minute internet disturbance, then the exam will be considered as invalid. So please keep that in mind. But I have a lot of my students, I should say hundreds or thousands of my students who have given exam from home. That's not a problem. Some people, they work in a very remote area. People working in refineries, people working in the army, defense background and all. So they may not have a good center near to them. So they may give the exam from home as well and they pass. So the point is, you have 2 options. You can give the exam from an authorized examination center or take it from the home. If you are taking it from an authorized center, you will get the result immediately. Immediately in the sense, in a span of 5 minutes, you will get a printout from the institute telling that you have passed PMP. Let's manifest that. Now, if you are taking it from home, it takes some 48 hours because they need to invigilate your video. What is that? Is there a chance of you doing any malpractice like that and all? So they will do it and they will declare the result. Whatever it is, let's hope for the best that you will take the exam and you will pass the exam in the first attempt. Now, once you get to know about the news that you have passed, you are a PMP holder, wait for another 48 hours till the certificate reflects in the PMI portal. Once it reflects in the PMI portal, it's time to flaunt. It's time to let the whole world know that you are PMP certified. So go ahead, download the certificate, and I would say don't just post in LinkedIn as a certificate or in any other social media platform. Take a photograph of you holding the certificate. That will have wider visibility. I would request all of you guys, let's announce the good news. Let everyone know that, okay? So download the certificate, take a hard copy printout of it, and then post a photograph of you posting that, holding that certificate, and then post in all the social media platforms, all the job portals, so that the whole world knows that now you are PMP certified. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Now, let us dive into a new topic called as project life cycle. You know, human beings are of different kinds, different nature, different behavior. The way they grown up may be different. The way they are born itself may be different. We don't treat every human being the same way. Some people, you need to be very soft spoken to them. Some people, even if you tell something, oh my God, I forgot this thing, they will tell, okay, we can manage. Like that. They are so adaptable. They are so flexible. So some people, if you tell them, I will be there by 10 a.m. If you are late by 2 minutes, they will tell, you told 10 a.m., right? Now you are late by 2 minutes. What is this? Like that. So different people are having different nature. And we all human beings know how to deal with different people. Correct, right? We don't deal with all the people the same way. Just like that, projects are also like that. Not all projects have got the same goal. Not all projects have got the same style of delivery. Different projects, we should understand the life cycle very well before we start. Otherwise, we will end up going in the wrong direction. Let us get into that topic. So what you see here on the screen, you have got 4 different life cycles: incremental, agile, predictive, iterative. Now, predictive is also called as, very common. I think most of you guys who are listening to this video, you would have heard about predictive. Predictive means plan driven, traditional, sequential. Yeah, you know, right? Typically road construction of a dream house, Egyptians built pyramids, Taj Mahal, everything is an outcome of predictive style of projects. You do something well planned and then you jump into execution or construction. That is what is predictive style of delivery. Now look at this. If you look at the graph, it has got 2 axes, the x-axis and the y-axis. The x-axis is denoting the degree of change. What it means is, from the beginning of the project till the end of the project, what is that change? How much change the project will undergo? So there are 2 categories. If you see on the left it is low, on the right it is high. Same is the case with frequency of delivery. Frequency of delivery in the sense, how many times the product is being delivered to the customer, to the end users. In some cases, we will deliver in multiple packets. We will see about it later. But what do you mean by this frequency of delivery? Is the project delivered in a single shot? I mean the outcome. Is it coming as a big bang? Or are we delivering it in pieces? That is what is one way to identify. Now, if you look at predictive, what is the characteristics of predictive? Or if I put the question in a different way, under what circumstances we should go with predictive? When the frequency of delivery is low, 1 time only, 2 time only, we cannot deliver it 100 times. That's when predictive is working well. And the degree of change is also low. I will tell an example. Let's say all of you have a dream house expectation. You built your dream house only once. You will not get the house delivered in multiple deliveries. We all organize housewarming, right? Housewarming means what? A particular day in which you are stepping into your dream house. That is what we call as a housewarming day. So that is a major milestone in your life. So to reach that milestone, you would have spent 3 years maybe, 2 years maybe. But the final house delivery happened in a single shot. So the frequency of delivery is low in predictive. What about the degree of change? That is also low. When you build your dream house, you meet an architect and you tell to that architect your expectations. Boss, this is how my dream house should look like. It should have 2 floors. And in the ground floor, there should be a kitchen and there should be 1 bedroom. And in the above floor, there should be 2 bedrooms and a living room. Like that and all, you will tell your expectations. I need 1 car parking space. There should be a beautiful garden in front of your house. Like that and all, you will tell your expectations to the architect. And he would have built a building plan based on that. And he would have started construction also. Just imagine, while he started construction, you are going to him with a change. You are telling that, boss, I got 1 new baby in my home. Can I have 1 more bedroom, please? Like that, when you tell to the architect, how does it sound like? It will be difficult because the entire building plan is built on your initial assumption that you need 2 bedroom, you need 3 bedroom, something like that. We can have changes. I'm not telling that we cannot have changes, but changes like this, the degree of change should be quite low. We can change on the flooring. We can say, hey, initially I told you I need marble, but can we have tiles? Like that and all, we can change the requirement which are manageable, but we cannot change the number of bedrooms or number of floors, etc., in the middle of execution. That is why we say in predictive, the degree of change is low. Now, moving to the right side, we have got iterative. Iteration itself means repetition, repeating the same experiment. So when you repeat the same experiment, what will happen? The degree of change is high. First time you had a set of requirements. With that requirement, you did an experiment. Once the result you got, you thought, okay, this time I got this result. Let me redo the experiment one more time. Like that you will think. So that is what is iterative. And when it comes to incremental, look at the difference between iterative and incremental. In incremental, the frequency of delivery is high. If you are the customer, I'll be delivering the product in multiple packets over a period of time. In 3 months, I'll deliver something. After that, after some 2 months, I will deliver something else. You are my customer. That is what is incremental. So let us have a look at incremental and iterative in the same frame. In iterative, the degree of change is high. At the same time, the frequency of delivery is low. You do the experiment again and again, but finally what you deliver will not be in multiple packets. It will be in single shot. That's what happens in iterative. For example, you take in your school, you are doing an experiment. There is an experiment to detect a compound. So that you will do multiple times. But finally, one time only you will tell, sir, the result is this. I identified the compound. Like that you will tell only once. So the frequency of delivery is low in iterative. Now, the frequency of delivery is high in incremental. I told you, right? Because we are delivering in small packets. We are delivering in increments. But the degree of change will be low. More or less, we are sticking to the same product line only. Only thing is we are breaking that into bits and pieces. We are not doing much magical innovation. I clearly understood, sir, what you want. You do one thing, I will deliver it to you in bits and pieces. So the degree of change will be low when you go with incremental. And finally, Agile. Agile as a project lifecycle, I would say it's a marriage of iteration and increments. You have both iterative as well as incremental lifecycle. Because in Agile, the frequency of delivery is also high and the degree of change is also high. Because you have got a customer and you value the customer's words. So whatever the customer is telling, you are ready to accommodate that change in Agile. At the same time, you are delivering to the customer in small increments, small packets. That's what we say holistically as Agile. So hope we are all clear, we are all on the same page. What is the purpose of this slide? The purpose of this graph is, depending on how much frequent is your delivery and how much big is your change, we have to decide the life cycle. Now, let us take a deep dive on each of the project life cycle and its characteristics. If you look at predictive, if you study the requirements, what I have to bring to your attention is the requirements are fixed. In fact, I would say the requirements are frozen or finalized. This is a way of putting it. Because we cannot afford for any changes. In fact, we hate changes in predictive. Because based on the initial requirements only, we have built the whole plan, the whole design. The whole documentation is done based on the initial requirements. Now, if you change those requirements, it will be difficult. The rework cost will be difficult. The rework efforts will be very difficult. So what do we do usually? We say the requirements are fixed or frozen. Now, if you look at iterative, incremental as well as Agile, in all three, what is the characteristics you can notice? The requirements are dynamic. It's okay, boss. What changes you have, you tell me. We can do it. We can think of it. There is a chance. There is a hope. I can think of dynamic requirements. Because we are not moving into a clear documentation and then starting the execution. We are trial and erroring. We are experimenting. So that requirements can be dynamic when it comes to iterative, incremental, and agile. Now, look at the activities. In predictive, the activities are performed once for the entire project. What does that mean is, you are building your dream house. You do the painting work, you do the electrical work, you do the, setting of the walls, everything you will do only once for your dream house. Maybe the contractor will do this exercise for another house. But for your house, the activities will happen once for the entire project. But look at iterative. In iterative, the activities are repeated till a correct solution is obtained. Because till the correct solution is not obtained, you keep repeating the activities. That is what happens in iterative. For example, remember in your school days, if you have done some experiments, let's say in chemistry lab, you have been given an experiment to detect an unknown compound. So you will do some experiment, titration and all. Actually, I am not comfortable with those in my school days. So finally, we have to detect what was that salt which we identified, what was that acid, what was that base, like that and all we have to identify. So we have to do multiple iterations, trial and error, till we get the correct solution. But the moment we get correct solution, it is frozen. Okay, so please understand, in an iterative style, the delivery happens in a single shot. We will be repeating the experiments. But once the delivery is done, it is not done in bits and pieces. It will be done in a single shot, which is same as the case of predictive delivery. In predictive also, a house or a car, will you get in bits and pieces? No. There is a particular day in which the builder will tell the house is ready for possession. In 1 year from today, Vishak, the house will be ready for possession. This is what the builder will tell. So, in predictive, the delivery happens in a single shot. Now, if you look at incremental, the activities are performed once per increment. Because in incremental, I will elaborate more in the subsequent slides. Please understand, the entire product is delivered in small pieces. Okay, so in every rectangle which I have drawn here is an increment. So the activities are repeated in every increment one time, but it will be in different increments. For example, in this increment, I do all this design, develop and testing, and finally I will launch it. In this increment, I will design, develop, testing, and finally I will launch. Don't worry about it. The remaining slides cover each of this life cycle in a detailed way. You will get more idea. Now, the delivery happens in incremental in small packets, because the moment this one is done, let's say I put a tick mark for this rectangle, it is pushed to the customer. The moment this one is done, it is pushed to the customer. Frequent small deliveries. And the goal of incremental delivery is speed. At the same time, the goal of iterative delivery is correctness of solution. Correctness of solution means, in iterative, I am switching between iterative and incremental. It should be switched in such a way that we understand the difference very clearly. In iterative, the goal is correctness of solution, perfection. Till the correct result is obtained, repeat it. But in incremental, the goal is speed. Or in fact, I would love to add one more statement here, early go to market. Early go to market. That is the beauty of incremental, because our aim is speed. Okay, or how quick we can push to the market. Now, when it comes to agile, I would say, if required, some activities are repeated until a correct solution is obtained, because sometimes we may have to do trial and error. We may have to try different design concepts so that we are able to deliver the product in the best way. But the delivery will be happening in small packets. If you look at agile, it's a beautiful chemistry. It's a marriage of incremental and iterative. See, in incremental, the activities are repeated until correct. The same characteristics is reflecting in agile. In incremental, the delivery happens in small packets. Here also the delivery happens in small packets. So I would say agile includes this behavior of iterative and this behavior of incremental. Look at this. That's how it works. And when it comes to goal, in predictive, the goal is to manage cost. Big projects. If you check in news also, how do they put, a $500 million mega project, 2,000 crore project? Like that only they put in news. Whether it is a highway construction or whether it is building a bridge or building a new township, everything they tell only in cost metric, in predictive. But in Agile, it is customer value via frequent deliveries and feedback. I would say in Agile, I am respecting the words of the customer in the middle of the project execution. That is what it means by customer value. Some people have a confusion. So in predictive, are we not valuing customers? Like that you will have a question. In predictive also, we are valuing the customers, but not after the requirements are fixed. Please understand. We give enough time for the customer to fix his requirements. But after that, 1 month down the line, if the customer is telling, hey, I have a new requirement, my attitude will be different. What you were doing all these days, like that I cannot ask to the customer, but we will tell that, boss, we have fixed the requirements. I have started my homework. I have started my hands, making my hands dirty. Now if you tell this new requirement, it will be difficult. Like that, we will tell to the customer in predictive. But in Agile, we are able to bring that customer value because of the constant feedback loop. In the remaining slides, we will cover those. At the same time, in Agile, we focus on frequent deliveries. So this is the whole idea of the project lifecycle. Each project lifecycle has got its own pros and cons. Please don't reach a conclusion. I have a request. I have seen a lot of the project managers, including experienced project managers. You know what do? They keep debating. Hey, predictive is better. Agile is better. Hold on. Let's discuss each of them in detail. There is nothing like one is better than the other. Each one is good in its own way. Now, let us take a deep dive into predictive lifecycle. As you can see, in predictive, we can see a project manager who is looking at the Gantt chart, which was prepared way back. I would say in some projects, the Gantt charts will be spanning across for 3 years, 4 years, 7 years, 10 years. That much plan is what is undergoing when you do projects in a predictive way. And predictive is heavily, documentation oriented. What you can see here is a screenshot of the risk impact matrix, which is there. So there is a lot of documentation involved in predictive. And just to reiterate, the requirements are fixed. Whether you are building a stadium or a highway, I told, right? Get everything in paper. Let's spend maximum time on paperwork. That is what is the belief if you are going ahead with predictive. And the activities are performed once. We don't have a choice. We don't have a luxury of repeating the activities again and again. And the delivery happens in a single shot. The role of a project manager in predictive is to manage cost. Think of a movie. A movie have got a clear script. The director or the script writer have put the whole plot in a script. And the script is being enacted by the actors. Just imagine, can the actors in the mid of the movie, can they act in a different way? Or in the climax, can the climax be changed to a different plot? It will ruin the whole feel of the movie. I would say predictive projects are like a movie. It's all well planned, well scripted, well put everything, timeline, cost, everything is put in paper. And we expect the whole execution to follow the plan, whatever we have put in paper, whether it is in terms of timeline or whether it is in terms of cost. If you try to disturb it, then the entire project will be ruined. And in a movie also, some thrilling movies, the twist is in the climax. We have to wait till the climax. I would say predictive projects are like thrilling movies. You have to wait till the end to get that complete feel of the movie. Just like that, in a predictive project, the final product will be delivered only in the end with a big bang. It is not conveyed in bits and pieces. The customer will not have a feel of the product intermediately. Maybe some report will go. Maybe some documentation will go. But the final product unveiling will happen on a particular day once the project is over. You have to wait for 3 years, maybe 4 years. Again, connect with the same example I told you, you building your dream house. The architect will show you some building plans, some floor plans. This is the material we are using for flooring, everything. But there is a particular day in which you can see the whole house ready. A car, an aircraft, a bridge, a metro in a new city. A metro in a new city, there will be a lot of construction happening. There will be metro stations being setting up. There will be metro lines being put up by a different team. But finally, in news, we will see the city is going to have its metro inaugurated in next 30 days. The minister is going to come and do the inauguration. Like that you will see, right? So that unveiling concept is there in Predictive. So please understand, there is enough of documentation, paperwork when it comes to Predictive. Some people will think too much of planning and we are wasting time. No. Many successful projects are because of the very major chunk of planning we are doing initially. It's not simply we are spending time on meaningless paperwork. So respect Predictive in those situations wherever you feel the requirements need to be clarified initially and there is maximum documentation needed. We believe in perfection, not in hurrying up. Are you getting that message? If you are doing projects in a predictive way, we believe in perfection, not in hurrying up. The next slide is, we are going to talk about iterative life cycle. As I told you, as you can see from the images, it is one scientist. He is busy with developing some compound, maybe a vaccine, maybe a medicine, maybe a new solution which can be helpful to withstand long hunger, a new food composition which space scientists can use when they travel in the outer space. I don't know what this scientist is preparing, but anyway, he's having a good determination. He's doing the same experiment again and again till the correct solution is obtained. But once he repeats the same experiment again and again, he will have some learning. Last time when I did the experiment, something wrong happened. Last time when I did the experiment, there was something which you could have done in a better way. Like that, he has a feeling. So the requirements are dynamic. Next time when you repeat the experiment, slightly he will try to modify the requirements. But still the overall idea will remain the same. And finally, the scientist, he will announce the whole world that, oh wow, eureka, I have found out the vaccine, I have developed the medicine, like that. That is what is this iteration. You keep repeating, there is no hurry. You keep repeating till you get the correct solution. There is no hurry, you repeat till the correct solution is obtained. So the goal is correctness of solution. And we keep repeating the activities until that correct solution is obtained. So the examples can be a variety. Think of putting a rocket to moon, putting a rocket to Mars. Moon we could achieve, man could land on moon. But let's think about a dream project where we are putting man to a new planet, let's say Jupiter. So what they will do? They will do multiple trial and error. Multiple times the attempt would have happened. First they will send an unmanned vehicle to Jupiter to see how it is coming back. Is it coming back safely? Then they will try to send a dog. We cannot play with, it's not that dog's life is considered as secondary, but that is how, if you look at this space journey, it is first they would try to send some monkey, a pig or a dog or something like that and see how is it coming back. Then they will try to put safely human beings because we cannot risk on human life. So multiple iterations is happening till the correct solution is obtained. And in every iteration, we are learning some better way of doing things. So my requirements are getting dynamically progressing in a good direction, but also I am towards my goal of correctness of solution. Look at this. This is more of a scientific space launch kind of thing. Okay, like we are planning to put man in moon. Okay, let's say we may have to build multiple prototype of rockets. First time the attempt may not be successful. So please let's come back to our word meaning of iteration. Iteration means you repeat until correct solution is obtained. There is no compromise in quality. There is no hurry for the customer. Now let's move to the third life cycle, the incremental life cycle. So in incremental life cycle, what happens? The important point here is the delivery happens in small packets. Frequent small delivery is the beauty of incremental. Because this is useful in those markets, in those situations where we have a early go-to-market kind of a pressure. Do you remember how we all were using WhatsApp? It's been almost 10 years since we started using WhatsApp. But I would request you guys take a moment to understand how was WhatsApp initially. There was only one pitch for WhatsApp, if I remember correctly. Are you topping up your SMS? Do you have to pay per SMS to message someone? Don't worry. If you have an internet data pack, you can message someone unlimited number of times, 24/7. That was the pitch of WhatsApp. I'm telling a decade ago, 10 years back. So what was WhatsApp's initial, I would say, the minimum viable product when WhatsApp initially launched was, we have a messaging app. If you have internet, if you have a 5G connection, 4G connection, 3G connection, whatever, I don't care. Do you have an internet in your phone? In that case, you can send unlimited messages. This was the pitch of WhatsApp. But we all started downloading WhatsApp and we started using it. While we are using WhatsApp, that is the point. While we are using the WhatsApp, that is what we say as working software. While we are using the working software, we means we all are end customers of WhatsApp. The developers in WhatsApp, they were working on better features. Rome was not built in a day. Now you know in WhatsApp, we have got video calling features, group calling features. We have got an option of deleting message after one scene, deleting a photo after one scene. Then we have got an option to voice record and send it to the other person. We can use emojis. What else? We can use WhatsApp for payment. But all these were added to the WhatsApp over a period of time in the form of update. Sometimes when we try to use our phone, when you unlock your phone, it will tell click update. Some app. So in case you click update for WhatsApp, then some update will happen and you will see new features added to the WhatsApp. You don't have to go to any shop. You don't have to exchange your old WhatsApp to get a new WhatsApp. It has been built into your phone already while you are using the previous version of WhatsApp. That is why we say frequent small deliveries, frequent partial deliveries. Now, what is the goal when you go with incremental? Speed. Speed, or I repeat again, early go to market. Just imagine if WhatsApp was late to the market by an year. I can guarantee we won't be using WhatsApp now. We would have been using some other competitor app. I don't know. So that early go to market is very, very important. Get into the smartphone of someone. Quickly let people download it. Then if you want to add more features, we can do it, bro, over a period of time. That is the message of incremental. Look at this, how a screen evolves. First of all, the app had only a basic login. Then they have added profile. Then they have added settings, chat, everything. But initially, if you think that, okay, I will add settings, I will add options for chatting, I will add options for introducing avatar, everything, if you keep thinking, you will never launch an app. So related to incremental, please remember MVP, minimum viable product. That is the key. Get an MVP quickly to the market. Minimum viable product, which is with the bare minimum features what the customer want. If the customers are loving it, that's great. They will download it. And you can see in the background that the customers are using the app, how much time they are using, what all features they are using, everything we can see in an incremental project delivery, because that's what we say. I think whenever you download an application or whenever you visit a website, we click on accept cookies. User analytics can be taken like that. We give permission. We customers, we give permission for the app company to watch our behavior. Based on that, they will improve the next release. That is what is incremental delivery. So in an incremental delivery, what happens? We deliver in small packets. Please understand. So this is one packet. This is delivered in the form of MVP. The same app, new features will be added in the next release, release 1. Then next release 2. We cannot tell it is over. Still, if there is any wish, we can add it in the upcoming releases. That is what is the beauty of incremental delivery. So let us start the new topic, Agile Lifecycle. So if you notice, as we have covered in the original table, Agile is something which beautifully incorporates the concept of iterative as well as incremental. The requirements are dynamic, no doubt in that. But look at the behavior of Agile. When it comes to activities, the activities are repeated until correct solution is obtained. Have you heard this? Repeated until correct solution is obtained? Type in the chat. In which life cycle today, in the same video, we spoke about this? Now, what about the delivery? The delivery happened in frequent small deliveries. This is also a trait of Agile. But in the same video, we have discussed about this delivery style for a previous delivery style. Type that in the chat. So, that is what I was telling. Agile incorporates both iterative and incremental. But the goal is slightly different. The goal is customer value via feedback. Yes, we do care about the customers, what features they are using, what functionalities they are using. We do care about that. At the same time, we value their opinion. And based on their opinion, we build better products and deliver to the customer in the next update. That is what is Agile. So, if you are with a predictive mindset, we will say, I hate changes. But if you are with an Agile mindset, you will tell, that's what we are here for. It's okay. That's why we are doing it in an Agile way. We welcome changes. We embrace change. That's the way Agile projects work. Now that doesn't mean that, okay, learn from Agile people. They are good. How much they are accommodative. Like that we should never tell to a project manager who is working in a predictive project. Because predictive works in a different way. Predictive, we go in a very sequential way. Documentation followed by execution. Here we have the luxury to accommodate changes from the customer through delivering working software. Just try to recollect the examples I have told. For example, WhatsApp, I told no how WhatsApp was initially, what features we were using. We all are end customers. I presenting in front of you people are my students. Everyone who is watching this video, we all are end users of the company WhatsApp. We all used different features of WhatsApp and we told them indirectly. No one from WhatsApp called me and asked, hey, what feature you liked? No one called me. But my behavior is being tracked by the WhatsApp development community. And that's how they are able to build new features to the product. Now, I want to tell you one myth-busting news. Many people say, hey, we are doing project in an Agile way, so we don't do any planning. I'm tired of hearing this. Many people take it for granted. You know what? When you do projects in an Agile way, there is no need of planning. But that is a myth. Planning is omnipresent in project management. Only thing is, when you plan, how much you plan. That is what is important. If you are doing projects in a predictive way, just try to recollect the whole discussion what we have today. If you are doing projects in a predictive way, you do whole lot of planning in a very initial stage, planning. Then we move into execution. That is what happens in predictive. Yes, there is more emphasis for planning, but that doesn't mean some people bend the statement. Only in predictive there is planning. That is something which I disagree. That is a myth I want to bust. Because I can tell in incremental also there is planning. Iterative also there is planning. Obviously, Agile also there is planning. In iterative, don't you think we'll plan for every iteration? Iteration is not like simply an iteration. Building a prototype is an iteration. Developing a proof of concept is an iteration. So we cannot simply build a prototype from the air. Whether it is a physical product or a software, the prototype requires some sort of homework to be done. Sometimes ordering raw material. So the thing is, we cannot tell that in iterative, incremental and Agile there is no planning. That planning is not to that level of detail as we see in predictive. For example, in iterative, we will think about developing a prototype in the next 2 months. That's all. How that prototype will work, what is the test result we are expecting from that prototype. These are the things we will keep in mind when we plan for a prototype using the iterative delivery. Now, in incremental also, people say, just deliver an increment, no, what is there to plan? I would say yes, because even if we are developing in increments, do you think the people who are working in that project, they don't know the complete requirements? They know, but they are prioritizing. To prioritize, you need to have a plan. For example, I told the example of WhatsApp to you people. Do you really think the founders of WhatsApp were not aware of the video calling feature, audio calling feature in WhatsApp when they started WhatsApp a decade ago? They were knowing about it, but they thought, let's go in a very incremental manner. First, let's introduce a messaging app which works with internet. Basic messaging app. Slowly, they added more and more features. Video calling, audio calling, all these features. Trust me guys, you guys would have forgotten. When we had the video calling, audio calling features in WhatsApp, it was like a surprise for us. Oh, now onwards I don't have to call anyone in the normal call. I can make the call via WhatsApp. Like that, we had a magical moment. But now it is very casual. Most of us, we equally use normal calling and WhatsApp calling. But when they introduced, we already was using WhatsApp. We were using WhatsApp for messaging purpose. When this audio calling came, we were like, oh wow, thank you so much WhatsApp. They have added another feature. This is the way we told. But that feature won't come just like that. They would have done some amount of planning. So even if you deliver an increment, let's say this increment, this is what we are going to deliver. Like that, there is a clear plan and we deliver it. Next increment, this is what we are going to deliver. Like that, there is a plan and we deliver. So planning is there everywhere. To what extent, to what quantum, when and how, that is a thing. So in incremental also there is planning. Obviously, I want to tell you one more myth busting information. There is nothing like if you go to a corporate world, iterative or incremental. It is we are learning as a theoretical breakup. When you go to a corporate world, there are only two keywords, predictive or agile. That's it. So don't go and ask to someone in WhatsApp and tell, hey, you are following incremental delivery, right? Like that. They will tell, no, we are following agile. Like that. So on a broader framework, there are only two life cycles, predictive and agile, on a real life situation when I tell to you people. So obviously now you look at it, do you really think companies like WhatsApp, Facebook, they don't have any planning? They all are using agile way of delivery only. Zoom, WhatsApp, Facebook. But that doesn't mean they don't have any plan. They do have a plan. But not to that extent in which a predictive company prepares a plan for 10 years using tools like Microsoft Project. To that extent, we don't do. We plan for the upcoming release. We plan for the upcoming increment. We plan for the next iteration. But planning is there. So no project lifecycle will exist without a plan. This is a myth I wanted to break, because many people defend themselves for their lack of planning. They quote, we are agile. You know, I don't care about all those now. Okay, so I feel like telling them, how can you say like that? You have to plan. Even if you are doing projects in an agile way, for that small incremental step you are taking, you have to plan. Otherwise, you will fail. Simply for lack of planning, don't quote agile as an excuse. So, after the mythbuster discussion, let's get into the hybrid life cycle. So let's stop fighting, guys. Predictive, agile, this is better, that is better. Let me tell you one truth now. If you look at all the corporates, almost 90% of the corporates, they will say they are having a hybrid structure. See, theoretically we say predictive, agile, etc. But when you do projects on a real-time basis, hybrid is the best. Now, don't ask me, okay Vishak, then tell me what is the formula for hybrid. I would say hybrid is a call taken by each one of you guys. How much percentage you want to have a predictive approach? How much percentage you want to have an agile approach? Like that, we decide holistically and deliver the project in our own way, our own style. So, the purpose of we doing this PMP course itself is get the taste of both predictive and agile, and ultimately do the projects in a hybrid way. This is what I tell to all my students. Get the best practices of predictive. Is there a good process, good tool? Okay, agile. How do they conduct ceremonies? What about the agile manifesto? Can I pick up some of the good practices of predictive and agile and do the projects in my own way? Are you getting that point? Can I pick up the best practices of predictive and agile and do the projects in my own way, like that when each one of you guys think? That is what is hybrid. Make sense? That's it. Now, when it comes to hybrid, there are multiple possibilities. That is what I want to tell. If you look at the first one, the ideal scenario is the entire project is split equally between predictive and agile. That is one scenario of hybrid we can tell. So I will denote different scenarios. Look at this. The whole project is divided into two sets. This is an agile way. This is a predictive way. This is something which is common structure I have seen for hybrid. So there is a common goal, I agree. The whole team is working towards a project, but this team is working on the adaptive side. Adaptive side, agile side means there are changes. So they should be ready for that. But this team is working on something which is very well fixed. Please use your creative brain to understand. This is the whole project right from start to end. The thing is, think of an example I will tell you. An electric car manufacturing company. Okay, electric car manufacturing company. So in an electric car manufacturing company, an electric car, ultimately, did you listen to the next word? It's a car. So wheel, suspension, steering wheel, all these are already proven technology. We have been seeing cars for the last 100 years, correct? So we know about how the cars are operating. But the electric vehicle is something which is niche. So how the new product development team in an electric car vehicle manufacturing company works, you know, there is a team which is doing the project in an agile way, which is focusing only on the electrical engine part. And there is a team which is working on the predictive part, suspension, wheel alignment, etc. But they have some common meetings where they discuss on the progress of each other. But ultimately, they are working towards a common goal of launching a car. So for an outside person, this whole thing is a project. But inside the project, we can see that the team is split into two. This team, this agile team, takes care of the software of the car. The predictive team takes care of the traditional things. I told you, right? Wheel, suspension, alignment, steering wheel, how the design of the car should be, everything. That will be how many passengers to be seated. Is that a 7-seater, 4-seater, 5-seater? Everything will be taken care by the predictive team. So this is one way of doing the hybrid project. Now, if you look at the other way, we can think of, let's say when you started the whole project, let's say this is the whole project. Okay, the first half, let's go with a predictive style. Let's say this is the whole project. The first half, let us go with a predictive side. And the second half, let us go with an agile side. There is a possibility like that, wherein you are doing a project where it involves a lot of paperwork initially, lot of approvals needed initially, lot of documents to be furnished. So you cannot go with that in an agile way. So you have to go with a predictive way only. So the first half will go in a predictive way, and the second half, the team needs to do some trial and error. Let's say the plan is all done, paperwork is all done. Can you imagine that situation? Let's say developing a vaccine. The vaccine development, the original portion will be totally plan driven. Think like that. A lot of documentation, a lot of research is needed. Some very niche kind of vaccine. So a lot of research, they have to talk to a lot of doctors and document, go through a lot of research paper. So that will go in a very plan driven way. But the remaining part of the project, the delivery may happen in a agile way. Probably they will have, when I say agile way, please understand it can have both iterative and incremental delivery. Probably they are delivering in phases. First stage vaccine, second stage vaccine. Haven't you heard some vaccines are like that? First stage vaccine. In the meantime, the medicine team is working on the second stage vaccine. But we can roll out the first stage vaccine to the entire population. So are you getting that agility, what it means? We are not delivering in a single shot, but we are delivering in increment. That is what happens when you have such a kind of life cycle. Predictive initially and agile later. Now, the opposite can also happen. Let's think of the opposite. What is opposite? Initially, it is agile, and then later it turned out to be predictive. That means when you started the project, there were a lot of uncertainties. You know what? Agile works really well when there are a lot of uncertainties. So there used to be a lot of trial and error needs to be done. A lot of changes were there in the requirements. We have to build some prototype. We have to build some simulations. We have to build some proof of concept. Multiple trial and error happened. And finally, once they got a clear direction, then the delivery happened in a plan-driven way. I would say extreme R&D kind of projects, initially it will be agile because there will be a lot of trial and error. Lot of first time you will try, you will fail, you will try in a different direction, you will hit something. Okay, you will simply throw stone into the air to see how it responds. We don't have any idea. So the initial half of the project will be totally agile. But once you do some 50 experiments, then you realize, now I got 51st time onwards, now I have got a clear idea what works, what will not work. Now I will do it in a plan-driven way. Are you getting that mentality? That is when first half is agile, second half is predictive. This is also an example of hybrid. Now, another two possibilities which I can tell is, the whole project is agile. In that whole project, a small portion, we are doing it in a predictive way. This is also a classic example of hybrid. Because let's say you are doing a software rollout. It's an agile project. Agile works very well in software industries, you know, right? It's a software rollout. But in a particular stage, let's say we are interacting with a vendor. The vendor is very particular about the requirements. He need to go in a plan-driven way. Or this particular piece we can deliver in a very sequential manner. We don't have to do much research, much experimentation, nothing needed. We are just plugging in a technology from another product into this. So it's proven. Are you getting that feeling? See, when do we go with predictive? Whenever we are confident. So in an overall project, which is fully agile, only in this portion we are confident. So that portion we are going in a plan-driven way. So this is also an example of hybrid. Now, look at the other flip side of it. The entire project is predictive, but little bit of uncertainty is there here. So that portion will go agile. So the whole project is predictive. We are going with proper documentation, proper drawings, proper diagrams. We prepared project plan in Microsoft Project, everything. But a small section of the project, there is an element of uncertainty. We may have to try multiple vendors. We may have to first build a prototype, see how it works, then refine our requirements further, like that and all. Only a small portion of that entire project. Think really big. Okay, we are developing something which is foolproof technology, but we are experimenting with a small thing. Okay, I would say something like when you are developing a car itself, okay, something innovative technology they are trying. Okay, can we use robots to measure the efficiency of the car? Something like that. The car and all ready, but we are using some robotic equipments which are built into the engine to measure the efficiency of the car. So that will involve some agile way of working. But the whole car is going in a predictive way only. The manufacturing or the design and development of the whole car goes in predictive way only. But only a small part of the project, it will go in the agile way. So these are the different possibilities. So next time when you hear the word hybrid, don't ask what do you mean by hybrid. Hybrid is on you. Have you decided what works well for you? In a real world, let me be very honest, in a real world, there is nothing like purely predictive, purely agile. It's about what you pick up from both and use in the best way you want so that the project is successful. Now, that is what about 1, 2, 3, 4 cases of using hybrid. 2, 3, 4. Now, there is another situation in which people adopt hybrid. When when the organization till this moment, they are hardcore predictive. Till this moment, they are hardcore predictive. Let's say a hardcore construction company, automotive company. For the last 50 years, they were doing projects in a plan-driven way. But their management have decided that let's go with a agile approach. The management have Decided that let's go with an agile approach. But it is not like, okay, switch off predictive, switch on agile. It doesn't work like that. There should be a transition. There should be a transition period. So what happens? The predictive mindset have to be slowly ramped down, predictive mindset, and slowly the agile mindset should be brought in. So at that juncture, in that transition period, are you getting that keyword? Let's say 1 or 2 years, there will be a program manager onboarded who is an expert in both predictive and agile. So he will come up with a hybrid framework wherein small injections of predictive will happen. Sorry, small injections of agile will happen. The company is overall predictive, but small injections of agile will happen. And slowly, you will see the whole project or the whole company evolves to completely agile. So in a transition stage also, we can choose a hybrid approach. So now you will ask, can you tell some example? I would say in agile, there are ceremonies like daily stand-up. There are ceremonies like retrospective. There is backlog concept, product backlog, sprint backlog. So while you are using predictive jargons like WBS, requirement traceability metrics, all these tools you use, risk management, everything is there. But along with that, try to inject small agile practices. Let's see how the team is responding. Let's say after one release is over, after 1 week is over, let's conduct a retrospective. Don't tell the word retrospective. Team members will not know because they are till this moment they were in hybrid. They were in predictive. So bring that practice, bring that jargon to their table. So slowly we are injecting. So in a transition stage also, hybrid works really well. Now let's have a recap. The complete summary we will see. So we have taken a deep dive into predictive, iterative, incremental and agile. And we have dived into specific examples. But my dear friends, don't forget about the goal. There is nothing like a one size fits all. Please check with yourself, okay? Is my goal to manage cost? And is my requirements very fixed? I cannot change it. If I change it, will that be expensive? Will that be effort taking? Then go with predictive. Am I aiming at correctness of solution, like a lab experiment or something? In that case, go with iterative, because I want to repeat till the correct solution is obtained. Am I aiming at speed or early go to market? In that case, go with incremental, because we deliver in small packets. That's what happens when we go with incremental. And if you want a mix of both iterative and incremental, I'm ready to go with the agile approach where I value customer feedbacks and I will be delivering continuously. Frequent deliveries and customer feedback. If that is your aim, let us go with the agile lifecycle. But finally, don't forget about the hybrid. Hybrid is the best of all. You decide. Best practices of predictive, best practices of agile, everything you pick up and do the projects in your own best way. That's when you are evolving yourself as a hybrid project manager. And one more thing, don't tell that in agile there is no planning. In every life cycle there is planning. How detailed, when, to what extent you need to do the planning. That is what matters. So agile is not an excuse for not planning anything and simply executing and miserably failing. Please understand that. So let's have a scenario match game. On the screen, you can see 4 different scenarios. You decide what life cycle will fit in what situation. For example, a hospital project. Type in the chat, for a hospital project, what life cycle will work best? For a food delivery app, think of food delivery app means something which is niche to the market. They are just experimenting with the audience. If that food delivery app first, if they are able to capture the heart of the customers, they will include more features, more functionalities. I'm giving you a hint. Now, third one, developing an AI algorithm through a prototype. It can be for anything, for investigating patients' health, or it can be for making money out of stock market, whatever. You are developing an AI algorithm prototype. And lastly, a video streaming platform. You think what life cycle suits well? I would love to see your comments in the chat. But still, I don't want to keep it in a suspense mode. I would say a hospital project. It is something predictive, because you need to build the plan, drawings, everything, and then construct. So it's a predictive thing. Now, to avoid confusion, I will jump to the last one, video streaming platform. I would say let's do it in an agile way, because already there is this video streaming platform existing. You know, YouTube, what you guys are watching right now. The thing is, there are some small increments, small trial and error, and how the customer, see, YouTube has got an analytics tab. How the customers are using the app, based on that they will improve the YouTube platform. So agile works very well. Now, food delivery app, think as something new to the market. I know some of you guys will be very comfortable with food delivery app, but just rewind back some 5 years back, we never had this kind of food delivery apps and all. So it is something new to the market. How the customers are using, what feedback they are giving, they will try to add new features to the food delivery app. But they want to push something to the market quickly. Otherwise, some other competitor will come up with a food delivery app. So incremental suits well. Now, finally, in AI algorithm prototype, what happens? One time you do, you learn from the mistake, you incorporate the lessons learned. When you do the prototype the next time, the moment you hear the word prototype itself, it is repeating again and again till the correct solution is obtained. That's it. In this episode, let us dive into the core of project management. I would say stakeholder engagement. Many people say PMP is project management professional, but I would say PMP is people management professional. I know project management means managing the triple constraints, scope, cost, schedule, quality, etc. But honestly, if you ask seasoned project professionals, they will tell you cost, schedule, scope, all those are 20%, 30% only. But you know what? The major headache is to manage the 70% stakeholders. Or if I put it in a different way, majority of the time and efforts of a project manager go in managing the stakeholders. I would say I don't want to use the word stakeholder, because when I say the word stakeholder, many people in corporate, they will get confused. Because in corporate, it's very common to say a client as a stakeholder. But for the PMP course, or from today onwards, let's talk in a different way. I want you guys to define the term stakeholder in a different way. Stakeholder is not just a client. Come on, please understand that. A stakeholder in a project is anyone who has got a stake in it. I would say a person who can affect my project, or who can get affected by the project outcome. That is what I would say is the definition of a stakeholder. And you know what, surprisingly, that affect can be good or bad. So now, let us consider the definition of stakeholder again. What do you mean by stakeholder? Any human being who can get affected by the project or can affect my project in a good way or in a bad way. Now, some of you guys will be surprised. Why bad way we should be worried about? Yes, we should be worried about the bad way as well. Because we don't know from where negative news comes, from where resistance comes. So, as a project manager, we should be prepared about people who may affect my project in a negative way as well. So let's revisit the definition of stakeholders. When we start this episode of stakeholder engagement, first thing let's do is let's revisit the definition of stakeholder. It is not the one who you address as a client in your company. It is anyone who gets affected by the project or can affect our project in a good way or in a bad way. Now, another thing is, most people say that stakeholder management. I would say it's not stakeholder management. It is stakeholder engagement. They are not like something to be managed. They are to be engaged. There is different levels of engagement. How I interact with my team member, that is one way of engagement. How I interact with my sponsor, that is a different level of engagement. How I interact with my peer functional managers, they are also my stakeholders. Please keep that in mind. That is a different level of engagement. How I interact with some people who are getting affected by the project. Imagine a department is going to get laid off. So they are also my stakeholders. I have to take care of them. If I don't take care of their emotions, they can play really bad in this entire project. So I have to engage them as well, some way or other. But everyone we cannot make happy. Please keep that in mind. Stakeholder engagement doesn't mean keeping everyone happy and satisfied. Some people claim like that. But I would say making everyone happy is impossible. In that case, better we should sell ice cream. It's about meeting the expectations. Let's keep it to that. Everyone have some expectations once they are into the stage. A project is like a stage. They come and go. Once they come into the stage, they have got some expectations. They have got some power. They will try their level best to meet their expectation by themselves. What we can do as project manager is meet their expectation. Engage with them and meet their expectations. So hope you understood how much powerful is this tool called as stakeholder engagement for the success of a project. Whatever you guys are skilled at, let's say, oh, I'm good in analyzing data, I'm good in Excel, I'm good in Power BI, whatever you guys proudly tell, I am AI certified, I know AI tools which can expedite the speed of a project manager, whatever you people tell, at the end of the day, stakeholder engagement, if you are not good at, the projects will fail. Another positive thing, before we dive into the stakeholder engagement topic, I want to tell is, our jobs, when I say our jobs, PM jobs are going to be evergreen, at least for the next 20 years. That should be enough, right? At least for the next 20 years, our jobs are going to be evergreen when compared to job titles like operations, business analytics, etc. Why I say like that is because it is based on solid research. Because we are playing with stakeholders who are human beings, who are having emotions. One man's fish is another man's poison. So when we are playing around with stakeholders, we need to understand the emotional needs. Am I able to fulfill the emotional needs of the stakeholders? Like that we have to keep in mind, which a bot cannot do. We can automate the operations of an entire factory without a single manpower. It's not that we can. There are already factories existing in the world where not even a single manpower is there. That is the way in which AI is taking away jobs from operations. We can automate report generation. That is a way in which AI is taking away business analytics kind of job, but not project management. Because every day we have to engage with a variety of human beings who are having emotions and intelligence. So to demonstrate the power of stakeholder engagement, let's dive into a simple case study. A very simple case study. I would say this is something which I encountered in my career, which I want to share with all of you guys. So as you can see on the screen, this is a project. The project is to come up with a CRM. CRM means customer relationship management software. So we are a company and we are having customer base. In our company, there is a sales team. So what does a CRM do? How to act as a system, how to act as a tool so that the sales people, the customer experience people, they can engage with the customers. So this project is all about rolling out a new CRM system across all departments. And assume it's a medium-sized organization, mid-sized organization. So on first day when this project was kickstarted, everyone told, great idea. But once people started making their hands dirty, you know what happened? Smoke started coming up. Quite obvious, because human mind is emotional. Every man have got different needs. So problems started creeping in. This is what is the intro for this case study. So please assume, now I have one request. Don't tell me, oh, in my company there is no customer, I am doing internal projects. Oh, I am from pharmaceutical background. We don't directly deal with customers. We deal with big enterprises. Like that and all, don't step out. What I want to tell is, use this case study to understand how is stakeholder engagement happening. You can interpret it in your own way, in your own organization, once you digest and ruminate this case study properly. So let us start. So I'm again repeating the story. You are in a company working as a project manager for a CRM implementation, CRM rollout. And first day everyone is happy, and slowly we have started seeing the true face of the people. This is where we are right now. So just along with me, I want each one of you guys who is watching this video, along with me, can you all identify who all will be the stakeholders in this project? Again, don't forget the definition of stakeholders. What do you mean by stakeholder? Anyone who is getting affected by the project or can affect our project in a good way or in a bad way. That is the way we have to look at the term stakeholder. So first one which is coming to my mind, as you can see here, it is a sales team. Obviously, because customer relationship management, that is a software. So obviously sales team is the people which is coming to my mind first. Oh wow, the sales team. They'll be very glad with this project. This is what my mind tells. Then the IT department. Do you know why does the IT department come into picture as a stakeholder? Because it is a customer relationship management system. It's a software. It's a rollout. So they are the watchguards. Are you getting that point? In an organization, they are the watchguards. What sort of software should come? What sort of infrastructure from the digital point of view should be there? And what sort of security we have to maintain in the organization? Are we keeping the database private? Are we ensuring that there is no leakages, no compromise in security? Not the traditional physical security I'm talking about. I'm talking about IT security. These all things are going through the mind of the IT department. Third stakeholder is the finance. Obviously, without money, how will things work? How will we do the project? And for projects, you have to get the concurrence of the finance department. Without you convincing them, okay, that all fine. What is the ROI? What is the payback period? Until and unless you don't have solid, happy, smiling answers to the finance people, they are not going to approve us to the next stage. Then, the end users. The end users, what I mentioned here is the internal staff who are going to use this CRM rolled out software. I need them also to support me in my project, because ultimately at the end of the day, they are the people who are going to use this customer relationship management software. And external customers. Once this CRM is live, another set of people who are outside my company boundary wall who are going to get affected. Good way or bad way, God knows. But anyway, customers also will understand the impact of this new rollout. Hopefully, let's assume that it will be for a good cause. Then, project sponsor. This is a standalone title, I should say. I told the finance department, but for every project, there is a representative. We call him as the sponsor. You will not officially find out a designation in the corporate world called as sponsor. It is something which you imagine. My sponsor is this guy. It can be a product owner. It can be a portfolio manager. It can be the head of sales because he wants to improve the sales behavior. It can be the head of customer experience because he wants to improve the customer satisfaction of his company, like that. So sponsor is someone who is heavily advocating for the project success, and he is the one who is showering money, keeping in mind that there is an ROI he is expecting. It can be monetary or efficiency improvement, something like that. It can be productivity improvement or reduction in downtime, something like that. But definitely he is pumping in money for some good cause. That is what I would say about the sponsor. And then operations. Why? Because once the CRM software is rolled out, who is going to use it on a day-to-day basis? It is the operations team. Business as usual team. That is what I would say about the operations. Now, one more stakeholder is the customer support. The customer support people are the people who are actually using this CRM software predominantly. Because any sort of complaint which comes, any sort of feedback which comes, what do you mean by customer relationship management? It is something which we use to interact with the customers. Then, compliance and legal. The compliance and legal, any project which we do, are we following the necessary regulations? Are we making any violations of the rule of the land? See, something which is legal in India may be illegal in Middle East. Something which is an accepted norm, which is part of a standard in Australia, may be considered as a breach of standard in Malaysia. So, compliance and legal team know how our project is governed by outside agencies. Are you getting that feeling? That outside agencies can be law, regulations, any government standards, whatever it is. So they guide us. Hey, whatever you are doing is good job, fantastic job, but please make sure you are getting this certificate by this agency. Otherwise, you will not be able to pitch this software in the market. Or otherwise, you will not be able to store the data because it is against violation. Like that and all, they guide us properly. And then it's a customer relationship management software. So there is a great role by training department, L&D, learning and development department, or HR. Because I can roll out, but I need the support of the learning and development department to multiply it, to duplicate it to a wider audience. So this is my viewpoint. See, the stakeholder engagement, let me be very honest with you guys, this is varies from person to person. It is subjective. That is why I am again confidently telling our jobs are going to be evergreen. PM jobs are going to be evergreen because we are playing with different stakeholders by different project managers. So one man's perspective will be different from another man's perspective. This is my perspective. In my project which I did, this is the stakeholders which I have identified. Now, how they are going to play or harm us, that's what we will see in the next slide. But before moving to the next slide, I just want to cover to you people, I just want to discuss with you people a famous grid. What you see on the screen is called as the power interest grid. Predominantly all best project managers, they start with this grid only when they start a project. Because scope, cost, all secondary. But who all I am associated with in this project? What is their power? What is their influence? I need to know. With whom I am messing up with? Please let yourself be aware. Don't mess up with the wrong guy. That is what is a lesson which this power interest grid mainly teaches us. So let us have a look at this grid. I think without any discussion from my side, look at the axis. We have got a y-axis, which is the power, and along the x-axis, which is the interest. So just see, from your perspective, you can type in the chat, what is that stakeholder who is most difficult to handle? Hope you can see 4 categories of people. 4 quadrants are there on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4. Without any explanation from my side, by your own intuition, can you just guess who is the most difficult stakeholder out of the 4 quadrants? Just type your opinion in the chat. Let's see what majority is thinking. Are you guys right or are you guys wrong? We will see. But anyway, when you look at these 4 quadrants, one thing I can tell you, having a high interest is always good. What do you mean by having a high interest? Oh wow, he is very interested. Interested means enthusiastic in my project. So having a high interest is always good. Now, what about power? Having a high power, it can be good or bad. If he is a bad guy means a resistive stakeholder in my project, then he will use his power to damage my project reputation. But if he is a good guy, I would say he is going to support me heavily in my project. So if you ask me with that perspective, the most difficult kind of stakeholder in this 4 quadrants, as you can see, the most difficult kind of stakeholder to deal with is this grid. Because have a look at this, what is this grid telling? They are having high power, but at the same time, their interest is low. Can you see? It's in the left side. Their interest is low. So if you look at them, what is that I've told is you have to keep them satisfied. You cannot escape from them. Can you escape from those stakeholders? No, never. Only thing is you have to keep them satisfied. Make sure that whatever they have as their desire, you have to fulfill it. Not that I'm telling any, unwanted desires, but anything which is respected from a project standpoint of view, which makes sense from a project standpoint of view, you should fulfill so that you are keeping them satisfied. Now, slightly move towards the right. If you look at this quadrant, what you can notice is it's a high power stakeholder. At the same time, the interest is also high. So you just have to manage them closely with regular updates. Boss, this is a status. I'm just keeping you posted. Because you know what? They are interested. They are always curious to know what is happening with our project. So you just have to manage them closely. Provide the right update with the right frequency in the right format. They should be loyal to you. But keep in mind, they are high power. I say this quadrant, they are like small babies. Because at this moment, you will be able to make them happy, cheerful. But any point of time, they can start crying. And they can move to this left side quadrant. So please be careful. So the manage closely, you have to manage closely. What else I can tell? That's a beautiful English word it says. You have to keep a track on them very carefully. Now, if I come down below, it is keep informed. Whom should we keep informed? It is high interest, low power. High interest, low power means what? Those kind of stakeholders, they have got a very great enthusiasm in their eyes. I could literally see, hey Vishak, what's happening with our project? Where are we? Are we done with the launch? Are we done with the prototype? What is the test result telling? Is it in our favor? Is the temperature criteria met? Have we got the license from the ISO? Like that and all. They are very keen in knowing the progress of the project. So we have to keep them informed. If you don't keep them informed, they will feel bad, left out. After all, you could have told me, you didn't invite me, you didn't inform this, I got this mail re-forwarded from another colleague. Like that and all is their concern. But trust me guys, if you keep them informed, they will be loyal. Because they have a high interest. Only thing is their power is low. Can you see here? They cannot do a massive movement. Okay, what I'm telling is they cannot take the project to a next level and all. But if you are loyal to them, they will be loyal. They are like supportive. They are like pillars of our project. So keep them informed. They don't want to be felt as left out. And then coming back to here, what is this quadrant? It is low power at the same time low interest. So when you look at it, you will feel, oh, low power, low interest, right? So it should be fine. That is what the text also says, minimum effort. Because are they going to play a key role in your project? Not really, because their power is low. Power related to your project. Maybe they are VP, maybe they are directors, but with respect to your project, their power is low. But at the same time, their interest is also low. Vishak is doing a project, something, I don't care. As long as it don't affect me, I'm fine with it. Like that, they don't trouble us much. So that is a nutshell about this power interest grid. Now, how you want to position different stakeholders in these grid, that is up to you. I told you, right? Project management is subjective. Particularly stakeholder engagement is subjective. I have told my opinion. For example, if you ask me to bring from air some designations of the people, you know what I would put? In the first quadrant, I would be putting auditors. Again, not to offend anyone here who are listening to this video, if you are from an audit background, not to sound offensive, but you know what? Audit people are highly powerful. At the same time, they don't care Vishak's project, whether it is going ahead or not, whether it is successful or not, they don't care. They just tell the truth upfront in the paper as well as in a meeting. So, are you getting the underlying message what I'm telling? You have to be very careful. You have to satisfy auditing requirements under any circumstance. Don't give them unpleasant surprises. They will just tell, this is what I observed. This is the deviation I have observed. Full stop. That is their job. Come on, let them do their job. Don't feel bad. Don't think that they are cruel. They are doing their job. So what you can do as a project manager, keep them satisfied. Whatever they are expecting, whatever documents they are expecting, whatever updates they want, you give them upfront. In that case, there is no issue, right? So that is what I would say here about auditors. Now, in this quadrant, the second quadrant, the manage closely quadrant, this is my personal opinion. Okay, I would prefer to put senior leadership team, SLT. Senior leadership team in the sense, every company, every project when you do, there is a governance committee, there is a steering committee. They are the people who will be looking upon our project progress. But one thing, they are at 10,000 feet above us. So as the project progresses, once in a while you have to give updates to them. So make sure that you are giving the right update, crisp updates to them. Senior leadership team. Now, when you give the updates to them, it is an art, I should tell you. And it involves a little bit of politics also. These are some things which are not there in any certification. But these are project managers know as a secret. Because let me tell you, stakeholder engagement is something which is not there in any certification or which is there in any books. It is something which comes, we say, dirty politics. I don't want to go to that extreme, but a project manager should know how to play that game very well. So what we typically do, I hope many project managers here who are listening, they will resonate to this. Imagine I have to get an approval from 5 different senior leaders on a particular date. Let's call it as a gate review. I want to get the approval from 5 different leaders on a particular gate review date. So if you are innocently going on that date and making a presentation, this is the status of the gate review, I seek approval from so and so people, like that, if you tell in a very robotic voice, what will happen, you know? One of the senior stakeholder will tell, hey, I have a concern. Can you go back to slide number 5? I need to check some points there. Like that, I have experienced, my dear friends. My gate reviews have gone really bad. If you guys have not heard about the process called as gate review, this is a separate project management practice, project governance. We'll talk it in a different episode. But I just want to tell you, this gate review is one of the key milestones for a project manager. So you have to perform with 100% confidence and make sure that the gate review is happening smoothly. So what I used to do, some of you guys may not agree with this, but I'm telling you some secret. If I know that I need to get an approval from 5 different stakeholders who are big shots, highly powerful guys, I will nicely catch hold of one of them. Not on the day of gate review. Let's say a week before. This is a secret, okay? A week before, you try to catch hold of that particular leader. And you nicely send a short email to him. Hello, sir. I'm reaching out to you. As you understand that next week, I'm having a gate review with you. But before that, I would love to walk you through the complete gate review presentation. Request 10 minutes of your time. Make sense? Now, you guys will be wondering, to who should I send this email? 5 stakeholders I told you. That is what I told, it's an art or a talent. From this 5, who is that most vulnerable leader who will be accepting my email invite? That only you will know. What I used to do, I will look at my project work breakdown structure. This is another project management jargon which we use. We look at the project work breakdown structure and we look at that stakeholder, senior stakeholder, whose team have got maximum deliverables in the previous week or previous month. Are you getting that logic? So they are also keen in understanding what is happening in the gate review. Are you getting that psychology? 5 people, randomly don't pick up one. You have to pick up that person who is also very keen in knowing the progress. This is what I would say, it's an art or a talent. How to do it? It comes over experience. It comes over failures only. 2-3 times you fail in the gate reviews. 3rd time you will realize this art helplessly. There is no other way out. Okay, coming back to a point, let's assume that I picked up this stakeholder, senior stakeholder, and I set up a one-to-one with him 1 week before the gate review. Now, On the actual day of gate review, you know what will happen? Once I finish my presentation, I will seek approval from the management. Come on, senior management folks, may I have your approval, please? Like that I will tell at the end of the presentation. At that time, this stakeholder, don't forget, this stakeholder with whom I had the one-to-one connect, he will be the one who is telling, yes, approved from my side. So half my work is done. Do you know why? Because I have one from the 5 senior leaders who have already told yes. So my job is relatively easy. So the other leaders, they will naturally tell yes. You know what, again, not to make fun of any senior management people, but one thing I can tell you, they are also a victim of something called as bandwagon effect. Bandwagon effect means what, you know? When one thing becomes very strong at a place, a lot of other similar industries will also occupy at that place. That is, it's actually a marketing philosophy. But what I'm trying to tell in project management is, once one senior stakeholder tells yes, the chances that other stakeholders also will tell yes is significantly higher. So my job is half done. Hope you got the idea. What I was referring to is how to manage closely these senior leadership team people. This is one technique. This is my personal experience. Okay. Now this keep informed guys, have a look here. The keep informed guys, I would say, have a habit of once in a month newsletter. Why? Because if you have a habit of newsletter, you can add all those people to that newsletter. What do they want? Look at this quadrant. They want to be informed. They are high interest. They want to be informed. So you just keep them posted. Add their email address to a database and a monthly snapshot or a weekly snapshot, something like that you circulate. Make sure that they are also receiving that email. Half of their unhappiness will go. Make sense? See, I want you guys to connect this keep informed stakeholders, no, to some of our college friends. You know how you have to connect them? Some people who tell that, hey, I came to know that you are getting married through Facebook. You could have informed me. I got to know about your marriage through Facebook. Are you getting? The point is that they are not going to come for the wedding. But the point is that I came to know through Facebook. You could have informed me. Are you getting that feeling? So those kind of stakeholders, they just want to get updated. They just want to be kept informed. That's it. Do that. See, every stakeholder you have to deal differently. That is what is the stakeholder engagement all about. Okay. Now coming back to this quadrant, monitor, which is minimum effort. This is what the theory says. But I totally don't agree with it. Why? It is because the minimum effort means low power, low interest. It looks like, okay, harmless guys. But let me tell you, based on my experience, and I always want to thank my first company management, my managers. One of them have told me, Vishak, this monitor quadrant, they are as dangerous or even more dangerous than the keep satisfied. Why? Because they can behave very immaturely. Are you getting this? See, what is this monitor written? Low power, low interest. Low power in the sense, you know, hierarchy wise, they are low in the rank of a organization. See, we are program managers or project managers. So those people are having a low power. So sometimes they will feel, harmless guy, how can he affect my project? Like that we will ignore. But we'll be surprised to see them that they are in some gossip with the chief financial officer, with the finance people, or with the legal team. Hey, there is a violation there. I told the project manager earlier itself. He didn't listen to me. Like that and all, you can see them gossiping. Are you getting the message what I'm telling? They may not directly impact our project, but the way they interact with other powerful stakeholders, it can be very dangerous to our project. So what we need to do, keep them monitored. I don't want to say that you have to keep them pushing updates and all, But just check how they are behaving in different meetings, with whom they are interacting. Because they can spread the news in a different direction. They are low power, keep in mind, but they have low interest. They don't care about Vishak's project. Is it becoming successful or not? Sometimes they may wish that my project doesn't become successful. So they just want to spread some rumor. So keep monitoring them. I would say any stakeholder who is low in the grade, but little bit part of my project, keep an eye on that person. Monitor them very closely. Okay, so that is about this power interest grid. Now, whenever next time you do a project, try to map all the different people with whom you interact in this power interest grid. Now, don't forget our case study. We were talking about a case study where we were supposed to drive a CRM, customer relationship management software, a rollout. That was the project we were supposed to do. And these were the stakeholders we identified in this project. But let's try to apply the power interest grid in this stakeholders. What you should do, along with me, just imagine each of these stakeholders where you will place in this power interest grid. Keep in mind one thing, there is no perfect right or wrong. Whatever I'm telling is my opinion, subjective opinion as a project manager. It can vary. With my explanation, hopefully it will sound genuine. Whatever I'm telling, the right way I'm mapping makes sense. Like that you will have a feeling. Agree? So let's look at this, guys, okay? So first, when we had an intro about the different stakeholders, I told about the sales team. See, the sales team I would position in this quadrant. Can you see here? Manage closely. Because they are the sales team. They have high power. They are bringing revenue. Who is sales? Sales is the people who are bringing revenue. So they have got an upper voice, very strong voice in the organization. So they are powerful. At the same time, what project I am doing? Is that a supply chain optimization? No, it's a customer relationship management. So the interest for the sales team in this project will be quite high. Hope you agree. So if you ask me, I would put the sales team in the manage closely quadrant. Now, the next is the IT department. The IT department, are they so curious about my project? I don't think so. Are they so interested in my project? IT, information technology. You are doing some CRM, customer relationship management software. That's all our role. Are you getting that? So their interest is low. But can we ignore them? No. They are powerful stakeholders. We cannot ignore them. Because without their proper approvals, making sure that the right security updates are going to the software, make sure that we are maintaining the proper firewall. I'm not a technological expert. I'm telling some jargons. Hope you understand. So until and unless you get the concurrence from the IT on these aspects, you cannot let the project go to further stages. So if you ask me personally, they are high power. The IT department is high power, but interest is low. This is my opinion. Now the finance people. The moment I tell about the project itself, I don't have to finish. They will cut me and tell me how much does it cost. They will not allow me to complete because that is what concerns them most. Nothing else. You do CRM or whatever, we don't care. What is the cost? Why should we do the project? How much is the cash flow? How much is the leakage? How much is the payback? What is the benefit to cost ratio? They will bombard us with questions. So are you getting the feel? They don't really care about the project, but they care about the ROI. Every single penny going into this project, what is in it for me? This is what is a finance mindset. So I would put them also in the high power, low interest. They don't really care about CRM. They just want to understand their money is diversified in the right direction. Now, the end users who are the staff. So why are we doing this project? It's a customer relationship management. Don't forget our intro. The purpose of this case study was we are rolling out a customer relationship management software. So ultimately it is going to target a few employees in my organization who are going to use this software. Okay. So they are like high interest. because they feel that, oh, Vishak and team is launching some magic. Probably our work will become more stabilized. Let's see. Let's hear from them. What is the outcome of the project? Hopefully things will be more efficient. Once the CRM something comes up, they don't know much about it. Are you getting that feeling? So they are the end users. You have to keep them informed. Guys, this is why we are doing this project. Today you are taking this much time for closing a ticket. Once the CRM software is up, you'll be able to close the ticket in 1/5 of the time. Like that, and all, you have to inform them what are the benefits, what stage the progress is happening, because they are very, very curious, because they feel that you are doing something for them to improve their efficiency. Hope you are getting end users, the staff. Then the external customers. See, the purpose of this project is a customer relationship management software rollout. So my company is this, it's a boundary. Outside that, I have hundreds of customers. Okay? Do they really care about what CRM software rollout happen and all? They only care about that experience as a customer. Do you really care when you purchase a product from a company, what CRM software are they using? Do you really care? No. You only care about the experience. Am I being heard? Am I getting proper response? Is the product being delivered at the right time? Like that only your mind is thinking. So I would put the customer, are you getting that? The external customers, I will put it here as low power, low interest. Because they don't really care about the project. Interest, they don't even know. And power is also low. What they can do? They can only escalate, raise ticket. So their power of influencing my project is relatively low. My project, talk from my project. Don't tell me, oh Vishak, customer is the king, what are you telling? For my project, they are not going to be the pioneers. Are you getting that point? They are not going to come in the front and tell, Vishak, you do like this, you do like that, like that. Okay? And then the sponsor. The project sponsor, I would put here in the manage closely. Because I told you, no, he is the face for me in terms of getting money. Boss, I'm running short of funds. When can I get the next payment? Like that, to only one human being I will go and ask. It is the sponsor. So he is a high power, high interest. If you don't keep that stakeholder engaged, the sponsor engaged with regular updates, he will become frustrated. His interest will come down. So we need to ensure that the sponsor is regularly engaged. Proper updates go to him. Make sense? Now the operations. See here, the operations people I put in high power, low interest. Why? Because some project, CRM project rollout happening. We are busy with our day-to-day life. That is the nature of operations people. We are busy with our regular activities. Something they are doing. Let's see. Like that. But one thing is sure, this is going to affect our work. This is a mentality of operations people. Sorry to hurt anyone from the operations background. Always operations people think that when projects are rolled out, it is going to affect their day-to-day work. Obviously, because whenever, just imagine, see, I don't want to go to corporate. Just imagine you are traveling in a road. If some construction is happening, construction is a project, a bridge construction is happening. Will your day-to-day commuting not get affected? Maybe you will thank the project after 2 years. Oh wow, now I could cut down 20 minutes of time. But while the construction is happening, obviously your journey, your travel, your commuting will get affected. Correct? Day-to-day commuting. Just like that, operations people, always their work will be interrupted once a project is rolled out. So what happens now? They have got low interest. And any time they will tell, stop this project. We don't want this. This is affecting our revenue. Why this project? Why this extravagancy? They consider project as a luxury. So I would put the operations people in high power, low interest. And then the customer support. Customer support and the end users staff, no, I would put the same rating. Because ultimately at the end of the day, the CRM, customer relationship management software, is mainly used by the customer support people. So they are highly interested. Oh my God, Vishak and team is coming up with something new for our work life. It is going to improve. I can leave home half an hour early, like that and all. They are very, very interested in the project outcome. Okay. Now let us talk about this, compliance and legal. In a project, the requirements usually comes from the initiator, product owner, product manager. So in my case, the requirement mostly comes from the sales people in this project, CRM project. The role of compliance or legal is very minimum, but still they have to be updated. Why? Because once the project is over, let's say 1.5 years down the line, once the project is over, these guys will come and tell, hey, there is a violation, there is a breach in the law. What is this? You could have checked this, right? You guys are project managers. How can you launch this project without checking this? This is going to be a violation. We are going to be imposed a fine by the government. Like that and all, they will react. Compliance or legal team. So I would say in my project, their power is less, interest is also less. But does that mean that I can ignore them? That is what I told you. Monitor them. Once in a while, check with them. Are they engaged? Are they aware of what the hell I am doing? Tomorrow they should not tell what compliance, what CRM, we were not even involved. I was not aware, not even a single invite I received regarding this project. Now I am helpless. Let us pay the fine. Like that they will tell like this. So make sure that you are monitoring them. It's a minimum effort, but don't ignore them. Like I told you, if the monitor people are ignored, you can see them gossiping with the high power guys in a lunchtime or in a tea break. So you keep them updated. Boss, this is what it is. Hope I need your contribution also in the project. Without you, like that you simply put a buttering for them. Okay. Without you, our project will never be successful. Like that, if you tell them, they will feel that, oh yeah, we are being considered. Our inputs are being taken care. Like that until they will have a feeling. Hope you understand. This is what is this beautiful power interest grid. This is something which I have told in a real project which I have worked. Once you do a project, you have to try something like your own. How does it work in your project? Hope you enjoyed this topic called as power interest grid. It comes under the vertical called as stakeholder engagement. As I told you, stakeholders are the most powerful people. Most powerful part of a project is the stakeholder. I would rephrase it. 80% of efforts a project manager spends in stakeholder engagement. If projects fail, they fail because of stakeholder engagement. If projects are successful, credit goes to stakeholder engagement. That's why I told you it is not project management professional. It is people management professional. That's a way of looking at it. So we have come to the end of the episode, stakeholder engagement. Under that, the power interest grid. Like I told you, PMP is project management professional, but I would say it is people management professional because 80% of efforts of a project manager goes in engaging the stakeholders. In that, the power interest grid, what we saw just now, plays a very crucial role. So it's whenever you do a new project, it's very important that you identify the stakeholders first and you try to position each of the stakeholders in each of these grid. Once you do the PMP, you don't just manage the stakeholders, you engage the stakeholders. And another thing is, earlier, before PMP, you will be getting surprises from different people. Because you think that everyone look at the project from the same viewpoint. But now you realize it is not like that. People have got different influence, different power. What they think about our project is not uniform across all stakeholders. So let's make use of this power interest grid to make our stakeholder engagement better. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Thank you so much. So I welcome you all to the topic of stakeholder engagement. As I have told you before also, stakeholder engagement is a key part for project success. We say project management professional, but I would love to call it as people management professional. Without winning the heart of the people who are associated with the project, we can never make a project successful. We have covered in a different video about the power interest grid. Now, in this video, we will get into a new tool, a fantastic magical tool, which can help project managers to drive the stakeholders in the right direction where we want them to be. That is what is called as the stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. The name is looking very lengthy, but the point is very simple. Stakeholder engagement assessment matrix. Are we able to assess what is the current level of engagement of a stakeholder? Is that what we are expecting? Or do you want that stakeholder to be better engaged in a different way, better way? If yes, let's come up with some actions for that. So this tool helps us to identify the current level of engagement of the stakeholders and what is our desire as a project manager or a program manager. Let us circle back with the similar case study I told you in another video, the CRM, Customer Relationship Management System rollout in a company. This is something which I've done as a program manager in my career. So this is something which I would love to discuss, which is very close to my heart. So as usual, this is a project which is pitched by the sales team of the organization to come up with a CRM software. Everyone is very happy once this good news came. But then once the ball started rolling, different people have different opinions, different priorities. That's what we are going to see. So let us broadly understand the people who are associated with this project. When I say people, it's the stakeholders. Please understand, the definition of stakeholder is anyone who can affect our project or can affect my project in a good way or in a bad way. Think like that. Listen to the last sentence, what I told, last statement I told, good way or in a bad way. Yes, obviously, there will be stakeholders who are going to harm us in the project. How to tackle them, how to identify them, that is what we are going to see. Anyway, let us start with the key stakeholders identified. So we have got the sales team, IT department, the finance team, then the end users, external customers, project sponsor, operations, customer support, legal or compliance team, and training or HR. This is what is the key stakeholders identified in this project. Now, let us try to position them initially when you started the project, where they are and how you want them to be. Just imagine. Now, I will help you to put your imagination into a tool. That is what you see on the screen as the stakeholder engagement assessment metrics. Very simple, very straightforward. You can see two letters here, letter C and letter D. The letter C stands for current level of engagement. Right now, when I am talking to you guys, what is the level of engagement of that stakeholder? And are you happy with the level of engagement of that stakeholder? Or do you desire that stakeholder to behave better or in a different way in the future? If yes, good that you identified it right now. We have time. We can do some trick. We can play some emotional tricks so that we can bring the stakeholder in our favor. So let us not think that we have to react to a stakeholder when he is making a statement. I would put it in a different way. Let us respond. There is a difference. When you react, it's something which comes spontaneously. But when you respond, you know that, yes, I know you will ask this question. I know you will have this concern. I expected this. Like that, your mind should tell to yourself. So one lesson I learned in my project management career is that not everyone look at the project with the same lens. Everyone have different objectives when they join a project, when they are part of a project. I'm not talking about team members. I'm not talking about senior management people. Every single stakeholder, they have got a different perspective about the project. We may not be able to identify that initially, but that is where the real talent is. So if I take some examples, if I have an engineering designer in my project, he will be coming into the project with neutral mentality. I just want myself to be engaged. That's it. But that is not what I want. I want him to come up with some design innovations. He's an engineering designer. Another stakeholder will be there. He is worried. He's not happy with the project outcome. He's worried that he and his team members will be fired after this project goes live. Yes, there can be cases. So we have to deal with those kind of people also. So hope you are getting, it's not an easy task. And one more thing, when you do a project, don't try to make everyone happy. If you want to make everyone happy, don't be a leader. Better sell ice creams. This is not what I told. Steve Jobs told this. So we are not here to make people happy. We are not here to make stakeholders happy. We are here to engage them. That's it. Happiness is relative, and happiness, some people, it is highly, highly unrealistic to make them happy. So let us not talk about happiness. Let's talk about engagement. So on the screen, you can see I've put a placeholder 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 so that you will get an idea. Each of these stakeholders, you imagine someone in your mind. It can be a salesperson, it can be a finance person, it can be a developer, it can be a supplier, it can be someone from the legal team, anyone. But I want to tell you, any stakeholder falls into any of these 5 categories. Either he is unaware in the sense, he's not even aware that, let's say, Vishak and team is doing a project in this company. Or within the same company, they may not be aware. Now, resistant means what? He's totally aware, but he don't want this project to go smoothly. He wants the project to be delayed. I don't know, everyone is not here to support us in the project. We have to identify them early. We cannot avoid them. Only we have to drive our emotions, we have to drive our strategies so that today he will be resistant, he or she will be. Tomorrow, I want that person to be at least neutral. Neutral means what? Neither for good nor for bad. Okay. Some project is happening. I am not much aware of it, like that. Supportive in the sense, they have a vested interest in the project outcome. They find, oh wow, once this project is done, maybe it's a career growth in my profile. Maybe I will be able to improve my productivity. Something like that is going through their mind if you feel that they are supportive. Leading means what? Of course, they are championing. Let's get this project done. Hey, Mr. Project Manager, I am there for support for you. Whatever you want, you let me know. I'm just a phone call away. Like that kind of people. Are you getting? That is what is a leading category. Everyone, you cannot expect them to be supportive or leading. Use your common sense. You will have a spread of all this. We cannot make everyone to be leading or supportive on day 1 of the project. But you can over a period of time. That is what PMP have taught me. If without this knowledge, if you just do the project with reporting, sending emails, sending presentations, updating weekly to leadership team, regional stakeholders, nothing will work. Because as long as you don't understand the pulse, things are going to be difficult. However technologically sound, however tools you are equipped with. So the letter C here stands for current. And the letter D stands for your desire. So if you see here, if I put stakeholder 1, C, that means currently I figured out that he is resistant. But my mind says, oh my God, if this guy is resistant, I don't think so, my project will go smoothly. What can I do to make him supportive? Your mind should start thinking. So I will think of something, and my desire is that over a period of time, this guy is supportive. Another stakeholder, he's totally unaware of what the hell is happening in my project. Over a period of time, I want him to be involved in my project. I want him to be neutral at least. So I can put D here. So please understand, the letter C stands for current and D stands for desire. Sometimes what happens, no? The C and D will be in the same vertical because you are happy, you are contented with the current level of involvement. For example, in the stakeholder 3, I understand that this stakeholder is currently supportive and I am happy with his role of being supportive. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want him to be leading or not, but I'm happy with this guy continuing to be supportive. So C and D we will put in the same column. So that means whatever you are doing to that stakeholder, continue doing. Good job. Maintain this momentum so that he is supportive. Now, let us look at the stakeholder 3. Currently, the stakeholder 3 is supportive. Don't have over expectation. Let him continue to be supportive. You are happy with that stakeholder continuing to be supportive. So what will you do? You will put C and D in the same bucket. Making everyone leading or supportive is impossible. Please understand. But I don't want anyone to continue in unaware or resistant vertical. So that is the purpose of this grid. Now, some of you guys will be wondering, okay, so this PMP course will help me to move a stakeholder from C to D. Sorry. This Tool will not help you. For that, you have to use your skill set. You have to use your talent. At this point, let me tell you a very, what is a non-digestible truth. Any certification like PMP, when you do, only 30% you will get. That is what is a tool knowledge. The remaining 70% is your talent. That's why some project managers are successful in influencing people. Some project managers, they will make fancy dashboards, highly interactive dashboards, but still the projects will fail. They will make their presentation data all precise, but somewhere they are failing in the engagement. So that engagement is an art. Throughout this discussion, I will try to give you some hint. How can we move a stakeholder from C to D? But ultimately, at the end of the day, to move a stakeholder from C to D, only you have to think. Just think, okay, when you interact with different people, how you lure small kids, there is a different style. You have to, if you want to get them do something, if you want them to obey something, you have to offer something, chocolate, ice cream. Some senior people, you have to offer them respect. Okay, let me be more humble, let me be more respectful to that person so that he will be listening to my request. To someone who is in a career growth stage, you have to offer them some promotions, some recognition. So these are some holistic tips which I can tell how you move a stakeholder from C to D. Now, don't forget, we were in the case study. I was telling about a CRM, Customer Relationship Management System rollout. So in this project, these were the key stakeholders which we identified initially. Now, whatever I'm telling, this is my opinion. Okay, just like we see in advertisements, okay, mutual fund investments are subject to market risk. Like that, this is my personal opinion. Maybe you have a different feeling. What I have gone through my project journey, I would prefer to put these stakeholders in this grid. It can vary. Maybe in the project which you do, you may put a salesman in a different grid. You may put the finance department in a different grid. But anyway, for the purpose of a understanding, let's start with this grid. I have connected this grid, what you see on the screen, with the case study. So first, let's have a look at the sales team. The sales team, when we started the project, please don't forget the letter C stands for current, letter D stands for desire, your wish. So currently, that sales team is neutral. Oh, we are coming up with a CRM project, so there will be more sales, more revenue. Let's see how things go. Like that, they are supportive in the project, but at the same time, they don't have so much of hope. At the same time, they are not resistive. Initially, they are neutral. The sales team is neutral. But I wish I'm doing a CRM project, CRM, Customer Relationship Management. I don't want this sales team to be just neutral. They should be like, anytime, Vishak, we are there for you. You're doing a project for us. It's Customer Relationship Management. We are there. What support you want? Whom should we talk to? Like that, they should start telling to me. So my desire is, over a period of time, they should be leading. How you do that? Now think, everyone will have different opinion. I want you people to think, okay, sales team is initially neutral. How can you make them leading in my project? What thought process which came to my mind is, let us have some metrics which we update to the sales team on a weekly basis. Once or twice, they will not have a look at that metrics. But third or fourth time, they will look at that metrics, provided it makes sense for them. Oh wow, this project is good. My performance of the sales team is improving. My customer retention is improving. My sales funnel have become better. Like that, if the salespeople are feeling, from neutral, they automatically start supporting. And over a period of time, that supporting will automatically transition to leading. Rome was not built in a day. That's what, we have time. A project is something which has got a start date and an end date and a clear goal. So over a period of time, let's move the stakeholders in our favor. So that's why I want to tell, it is not stakeholder management, it is stakeholder engagement. Now let us look at this second one. Did you notice the IT department is currently resistant? I expected this. When you do a couple of projects, you will automatically have this expectation in your mind. Why? Because whenever we do this software kind of rollout, there will be concerns. Is this adhering with the company's software policy? Are we compromising on the safety? Are we compromising in the privacy of the customers? Some tools may be very, very good to use, but what if there is a chance of a leakage of database of the customers? Our company's image will get affected, and we IT people are responsible to ensure that the leakage is not happening. Like that and all. This is my personal opinion, guys. This is not for valid, research, and you can use it in all the projects. What I felt in this ERM project which I did, the IT department was initially resistant. Now my desire is C for current, D for desire. I cannot continue them to be resistant. I want them to be supportive, because CRM rollout will go. But what about the safety? What about ensuring the security? I'm not technically sound in this. What I'm telling is firewall, encryption, database protection, compliance, GDPR compliance, like that. There are different regulations, right? I need to ensure that my project is going through all this without violating anything. So IT department's support is very, very important. But like I told you, Rome was not built in a day. Let them be resistant initially. They will always have questions. New software came. Now again, headache for us. Like that, let them think. Initially, let them be resistive. Over a period of time, you make them supportive. Now the finance department, currently neutral. They are like, okay, again, this is my personal opinion. They are like, okay, Vishak, so tell me, what is this project all about? Fine, good. Okay, so everything goes through their head, above the head, whenever I tell about the technology benefits of the project. Because their concern is manage the funds. Should I invest? Should I give more money to Vishak's project or some other project? This is the only question which goes through their mind. So they are not against, but they are neutral. Good idea, Vishak, but let's see, because I've got a lot of projects requests coming in my table. I'm really confused which one to prioritize. Throw me some good data so that I will feel interested in it. This is what is going through the finance folks' mind. So initially they will be neutral, but over a period of time, I should make them supportive. So how I can make them supportive? Over a period of time, generate some report which is favoring only on the number. Don't tell customer satisfaction improved and all. Do you think finance people really care about it? Tell something else. Overhead expenses reduced, or revenue increased, financial forecast doubled, productivity improved. Like that and all, if you put some metric and share a separate report, or if you have a separate meeting, financial tracking of the project, and invite those financial people, they would be happy to hear those. Because rest all, technology, customer relationship, everything is secondary. They want number on the screen. So this is a way, this is my thought process, how I would engage the finance department people. So that over a period of time, from being neutral, they will move to supportive. Now, end users, internal. I have put here resistant, because you know what? They were using some other software till yesterday. Now they are like, oh, come on, there is a new software. Now we have to learn that new software, become an expert in it. It is going to eat up our time like anything. So let me tell you, any project which is revolving around change, here it is a change project. How do you know that it's a change project? Because the project is customer relationship management. We are rolling out a new customer relationship management software. So obviously, till yesterday, the end users internal, they were using some other CRM software, or let's say they were using Excel, some other primitive tools. Now, if you tell them, hey guys, let's migrate to the new tool, they will of course protest only, because it doesn't come just like that. Who loves to get out of your comfort zone? Come on, think. See, right now in your office, we are using Zoom, let's say for meetings. If the CEO of the company says that let's scrap Zoom and go with team, people will have a, lethargy. Oh, I was totally comfortable with the Zoom interface. Why are we migrating to this one, to Teams? Like that they will have a feeling. Or just think about relocation of the office space. People will have protest. Right now, my whole family, my office, everything is surrounding here only. Now I have to travel another 5 kilometers. Why should I do that? So are you getting that point, what I'm telling? The end users, whenever there is a change project, the end users will always show initially a resistance. But let them be, because human mind is like that. No one likes changes. Everyone is complacent, comfortable in their own present status. But my desire is, over a period of time, I have to make them supportive. See, if the end users are not supporting in this project, how can I say the project will be successful? See, the success of a project is not about successfully CRM implemented. Project have gone live. It is available in everyone's laptop. Like that telling is not the success. What is success? It's available and people are happily using, understanding the benefits of the CRM. Are you getting the difference? Just installing a new software in 10,000 laptops is not a software rollout project. It's also about how people are willing to use that new software. Hope you got that. That's why I'm particular. Initially, the end users will be resistant, but over a period of time, they should be supported. Now, external customers. Okay. See, the external customers they don't know what is happening. Are you getting the purpose of this project? Everyone, let's circle back to the purpose of the project. It's a CRM project, customer relationship management. So, customers may not even know. They don't even care. Okay. Whatever new rollout you come up, I don't care. I want customer experience to be best. I don't want waiting time. I don't want any frustrated experience from your company. This is only thing they have. They don't care about what customer relationship management software you use. That's why currently they are neutral. Over a period of time, I want the customers to tell, oh, you know what? In this company, they have a new customer complaint resolution tool. That's fantastic. There is faster resolution. The tickets are being addressed properly. The team are more productive. Earlier, I used to wait for 5 working days for a complaint closure. Now it is happening in 2 days. I heard that this company have adopted a new CRM tool. That's why. Anyway, great thing. Like that they should tell. Are you getting that feeling what I'm telling? They may not be directly affected, but their happiness can get affected with the help of this CRM tool. That's it. So let's see further. If you look at the next stakeholder which I have identified in this project, it is the sponsor, project sponsor. I told you, right, who is a sponsor? Anyone in the line of the project manager, above the project manager, who is also keen in getting this project live. It can be a single person or it can be a department also, but I would prefer to map it to a single person here because this whole project is his brainchild. As good as me or more than me, he wants the project to go live. And he has put money also. I have put my sweat only. He has put his money also. So he will be as good or more good than me in terms of ensuring that the project is success. So I have no doubt right from the beginning, this sponsor will be leading. I told you, right, leading will be at any point of time he's there. His sponsor, something which I try to resolve from my end, but it's not happening. Can you just help from your end? Like that when I knock his door, he should feel like, oh wow, Vishak have come to me for a concern. This is my project. I should help him out. Like that a feeling the sponsor will have. So let us maintain that momentum. Hope you got it. The purpose of me putting C and D in the same vertical is that currently the sponsor is leading. I'm happy with his level of engagement. But if I don't make him happy, if I don't put the right metric to him in the right period of time, he can lose interest. I don't know what is happening with Vishak's project. Initially, I was very, very enthusiastic. But now the metrics are not going in the right direction I'm envisioning. So I have lost interest in this project. Like that, the sponsor should not tell. So let us ensure that the current original enthusiasm which the sponsor had, we are able to keep up that momentum. D for desire. Now, operations team. See, I would put this 3. Can you have a look at this? The operations team, the customer support team, the compliance or the legal team. Currently, all 3 of them are not at all aware what the hell is happening. They are in my company only, but they are not much aware about what is this project all about. But one thing I can tell, Being unaware is not good, because by the time the project is over, the operations team will be hands-on using this. Their team members will be working on it. So if they just happen to see this software one fine morning, they will be frustrated. What is this? I was not aware. Like that, they will have a feeling. Same is the case with customer support team. We are doing this project for customer relationship management only. So initially, if they are not aware, that is fine. But over a period of time, I have to make them aware. Same is the case with compliance and legal team. Right now, they are not much aware of what is happening in my project. But if I don't inform them, just imagine, by the time the rollout happens, they will tell, hey, you could have checked with me one word. There is a violation. There is a major violation. We are going to end up paying a severe fine. I don't know. You guys never kept me updated. Like that, the legal team will tell. So being unaware is not good. But let's see what is our desire. This is my personal opinion. The operations team, I want them to be neutral. That's it. They will not be supportive and all, because operations is day-to-day business running. They got nothing much to do with customer relations. They make something, they produce something. They are in a ongoing work. So it's okay. Being neutral is enough. Who? Operations team. But what about customer support team? They should be supportive. This project was, initially we were not aware of this. But now our customer support efficiency have improved drastically. Now we are able to close the tickets faster. Now the customers are giving us 5-star ratings. They are giving kudos to us. We are feeling really motivated because of this new software rollout. This is what they should tell, correct? That is why I'm putting the customer support team in D. The compliance and legal team, I don't want them to be supportive and all, but at least I want them to be neutral. So that tomorrow they will not tell, you could have just checked with me once. I have got nothing to gain or lose from this project, but I have to tell this, there is a violation. Now it's up to you. You could have just kept me in loop initially. So I want that person to be neutral. He is aware of what is happening, neutrality. And training and HR team. Initially, they are neutral because some project is happening, customer relationship management rollout. Let's see. We have to see how it improves the life of the people, employees. We have to see how we have to ramp up our learning and development team so that the employees are ready for the training. Like that and all the HR is thinking. So that is neutral. But being neutral is not enough. Okay. Without training support or without HR support, how can the project be successful? I'm again repeating, rollout doesn't mean just a software is installed in everyone's computer. It's also about people happily willing to learn how to use this new software. For that, a proper training plan, a people movement is needed. So without the support of training department or the L&D department and without the support of HR, I will not be able to roll out this project the way I wish. Hope that makes sense. So C stands for current, D stands for decide. So every stakeholder, when you identify in a project, just jot down the stakeholders and see what is that, what do they feel. Again, I told no, this is not a science. It is your mind and brain together telling. What do you think? Is this person totally unaware of it? Or is this person will feel bad about this project? You have to think. Sometimes people, if I say the people will feel resistant if their job is getting lost, if their land is getting acquired. Think, for the time being, since we have brought up this entire stakeholders to the light, let us talk about in general. Let's think we are going ahead with a highway construction. Because of the highway construction, a lot of houses gets demolished. So what we can tell? The house owners of these houses, they will be initially resistive. So think like that. Don't just think, while I summarize the CRM, customer relationship management, what is a case study, don't just think only from this project. Think of any big project. Think of who are all the stakeholders you are interacting with, directly or indirectly. Are they happy? Are they neutral? Are they frustrated? Please take a back step and try to look at them. Because without stakeholder engagement, it is very difficult to claim that your project is successful. Now, once you have identified this stakeholder engagement assessment metrics and you have clearly populated C for current and D for desired, the next step is let us marry both the tools. In a different video, we have discussed about the power interest grid. In this video, we had a lengthy discussion on the stakeholder engagement assessment metrics. Now, how these two tools interplay? Just have a look. First, the engagement assessment tool tells currently what, desire what. That is the purpose of engagement assessment tool. What about the power interest grid? Each of the team members, how powerful they are, how influential they are. That is what. So when you use these two tools in the same table and then you start driving your meetings, start generating your reports, one size does not fit all. Please understand. We need to understand the power and influence also. Highly powerful stakeholders. I'm connecting both engagement assessment as well as power interest grid. Highly powerful stakeholders, they don't have time. They need minimalistic data. So you have to communicate to them accordingly. You have to engage them accordingly. In the highly powerful also, there are two categories. Keep satisfied, manage closely. Keep satisfied is with whatever they want. Don't feed them unwanted information. They will get confused. They will feel irritating. Manage closely, make them happy, make them pampered. For you guys only, I'm doing the project. This is a report. See the metric, green, like that. Keep informed. Keep pushing whatever is needed for them. Whatever makes them feel that, oh yeah, I'm involved. I'm kept involved. I'm updated, like that. And monitor means they will not harm us much, but keep an eye on them. Because like I told the customers and legal, if you are not able to meet their happiness level, or if you are not able to fulfill their expectation, they can backfire. So you have to monitor them. Are they contented? Legal team, am I checking all the legal validation, etc. with them? Like that and all, you keep your eye on it. That's it. So that's this. These two tools are the powerful tools when it comes to engaging stakeholders. Before PMP, you used to manage stakeholders. This is what I want to conclude. After PMP, you're going to engage them. And before PMP, you used to react to stakeholders. After PMP, you are responding to them because you are able to predict how each one is going to behave. See, something unexpected comes only will shock us. But something expected comes, we are well prepared to handle. So these tools will ensure that the overall engagement level is kept high, and if overall engagement level is kept high, project will be successful. It's not about just launching a physical device. I told no, not just launching a dam, opening a highway, ensuring installation of a software. It's about people using it. That is where the real value comes. Otherwise, it will stay just like a monument without any use. Even people will not even understand the use. So you have to educate them of the use. That's the purpose of this engagement tools, what we discuss right now. So thank you so much for watching this video. In this entire video, we have covered about the powerful tools which can ensure stakeholder engagement. Let us start with the new topic, mastering communication methods. When you hear project communications, many people think communication means what? Giving updates, attending meetings, taking up meetings, minutes of meetings. This is what typically people have as a mentality when it comes to communication. But let me tell you some data. If you look at the root cause for most of the project failures, everything boils down to communication. I would say almost more than half of the projects fail because the communication is not happening properly. Maybe the right person is not getting the right information in the right way he wants. Maybe the timing was wrong. Maybe the way it was presented. Some people would prefer Excel, elaborate data. Some people would prefer presentation. Some people would love daily updates, daily circling back on the same minutes of meetings so that they can track more effectively their day-to-day work. When to the right person, the right cadence or the right report or the right meetings are not happening, things will go for a toss. Whatever we have prepared in the Gantt chart, all those will look like a photograph. The reality will be a real mess. So please understand, majority of the projects fail because of communication. If by any chance, if we can make the communications better, let's think about that. So now coming to the job of a project manager, what I have noticed is, this is an official data, 80% of time a project manager spends in communication. Obviously, if you look at a calendar of a project manager, he will be having back-to-back meetings. Morning calendar will be full with meetings, evening calendar will be full of meetings, and then for a half an hour, he will not have any meetings. But go and check with him. Hey, what are you doing, bro? Like that. He will tell that, hey, I'm preparing a presentation. Tonight, I have a meeting with the sponsor. Like that. So what I want to tell is that the meeting presentation which he is preparing, today evening, he has a meeting with the sponsor. That effort of him is also part of communication. It is not about just attending meetings. Are you customizing a presentation for a particular set of people? That is also an art of communication. Now, having said this much, this is, to be very honest, it sounds rude, but this is not something which you can gain through a course. It is something which I say a skill or a talent. That is what something which distinguishes a successful project manager from a usual okay kind of project manager. The okay kind of project manager will know all the tools, processes, everything. He will be good in interpreting data, putting it in fancy chart and all. But somewhere that right information is not going to the right person in the right mode. That's where let's take a deep dive into this communication methods. So on the screen, you can see push, pull, interactive. Don't feel wrong. You are not in the wrong place. You are not in a gym or anywhere where someone instructor is telling push, pull, interact, like that. It's not like that. We are in the PMP course only. But these are the magical keywords to understand what method suits well for what kind of audience. Keep guessing, guys. What do you understand from this word push, pull, and interactive? But in the meantime, I will walk you guys through the next slide, wherein, again, pictorially we can see here, on one side, a team is there who is not clear with the communication, who is not clear with the report which is being shared in front of them, because of which there is always argument, debates, fights. On the other side, the team is flooded with the right data, the right chart, the right presentation. And see, that's where the real brainstorming happens, the real discussion happens. So again, communication method matters. Is it in the form of a chart? Is it in the form of a meeting? Or it's an open-ended brainstorming discussion without any agenda? Or, hey, I've sent you a link from where you can download everything. Like that, you are closing that chapter. Whatever you want, you download. That is also a form of communication. We are not telling anything. So what communication suits in what situation is really, really important. Otherwise, you will end up being in the left side. One size doesn't fit everyone. Now, let us take a deep dive into the push-pull interactive. Hope you got a chance to brainstorm. Hope you got a chance to think what it could be. But anyway, without much suspense, I'll get into the push. Push means it's a one-way communication by which a project manager, not only a project manager, let's say a lead designer, a technician, he is sending an email or a report. So that is what we call as a push communication. Anything, hey, there is some unusual changes. There is a new update. The temperature have gone little bit higher. Please, everyone's information. Like that and all, when we broadcast something for everyone, that is what we call as push communication. In your phone also, if you check, all of you guys have smartphones these days. It will be written as disable push notification, enable push notification. What does that mean? Every app, they would love to push something to us. Hey, we have got a new offer. There is a new feature available. Wanna try this? Like that and all. That means they are pushing it into our phone. You have an option to disable that push. But the point is, someone is spreading that message to everyone's cell phone. So same is the case with WhatsApp. Whenever I send a message to you, that is a push. And you will get a notification, push notification in your phone. So use it in a right way. Simply we cannot use push, hey, are you okay? Are you alive? Like that, no one should send a push notification. That's where something else is important. So use the push communication whenever we want to push some update. I have reached this place at this time. It's okay. Whenever the other person checks the phone, they can have an idea. It's a push notification. So coming back to project management, whenever we share an update, test result, this is the summary, this is the deviation noted, unusual behavior observed, like that and all. When team members want to intimate to a small set of audience, they can use push communication. Now, coming back to pull. What about pull? Pull is like, hey, somewhere in the internet you can find it. Like that when we tell, no, that is what is pull. Self-access. So we can say broadly, intranet. In companies, we have got an intranet feature. LMS, learning management system, where you can take up courses on a self-paced mode. And when you go to an online library, or when you go to a library also, you have to search for a book and then you have to pull it out, take it in a subscription, read it and give it back to the library. That is also pull. Now coming to interactive. Interactive is what we are having over a phone call, what we are having over a Zoom call. That is what we call as interactive, where ideas originate. The moment I pause talking, you can tell, hey Vishak, I have a different idea. Why don't we try like this? No, I disagree with it because there is so and so problem. Like that, you are getting a chance to pitch in immediately and make the ideas sound great ideas after an hour of interaction. That is what is interactive. So there is nothing like one is better than the other. That is what I want to conclude in this slide. Push, pull, interactive, all are equally good. You have to use these classical weapons at the right time to the right people. Let us take a deep dive into interactive. Imagine our project is going on. Right now we need to brainstorm on the upcoming design. What all modules we are going to introduce. What are all the different configuration we are going to have. Like that and all, when we want to have a clarity, if you send it as an email, hey, would love to hear your thoughts. Like that, when you send as an email, it doesn't work. Pull up all the folks into a meeting. If possible, try to bring them into a room and say, hey, let's brainstorm. So the point is, in case you are brainstorming, in case you are trying to solve a problem, in case you are trying to find out root cause of a major event, a disaster which happened, I don't think so it will work with email or it will work with an intranet portal. There we need to talk. That is where interactive communication plays a key role. Now, in the project management professional exam also, there are many situations in which there will be a problem in the question. There will be a disaster which has happened. The project manager have to find out the root cause of that disaster. In such situations, don't resort to an option wherein send an email to the sponsor or send an email to the subject matter expert, like that and all. That doesn't work. There what we should do, you should choose an option wherein organize a meeting, facilitate a discussion, have a focused group discussion, like that and all. There will be options. So hope you got the intent. Wherever there is interaction, there we can collectively work together and solve a problem or invent a solution. Let's assume that there is no problem. We have to invent a new solution. Whenever we brainstorm, it makes sense. That's about interactive form of communication. So choose it wisely. Whenever people are having a low emotional support is needed, in such cases, don't go with push, pull and all. Talk to that person. Pick up the phone call, talk to that person. Whenever team members are emotionally down, pick up the phone and talk to that person. Don't try to check it over an email or like we will not have grievance addressed via an intranet portal. Grievances are to be addressed via communication, by talking, empathizing. That is what is a good leader should do. Now, getting into the details of push communication. Imagine we are doing a dry run or a trial run of a rocket launch. Some unusual behavior was demonstrated by the rocket while it was test run happening. So it is a deviation which was noticed. So that deviation, the technician want to let the key people know. So what he should do? He should pick up his email and send this deviation to the right people. What is the root cause and all we will check later. But this communication that there is a deviation observed, it should be immediately notified. That's where email or WhatsApp message act as a right communication. But otherwise, just for, hey, how are you? Like that, never ever send an email. It is something which should flow emotionally. So hope you got the idea of push communication. Whenever you want to spread some information to a selected audience and an unusual pattern, an unusual trend observed, something like that, you want to bring to the attention of 4-5 stakeholders, or let's say 10-20 stakeholders, that's when we can resort to email communication. I mean, in a theoretical word, I say we can resort to push communication. But what I have noticed is, throughout my career, there were some few managers who were very particular. Email, write an email to me. I will be going to that person's desk and I'll be telling the problem to him. Still, he will tell after listening to the whole discussion, write an email to me. So that is one mentality which I want to change. Many people are so crazy about email. In fact, they are proud to tell that, hey, you know what? I have 10,100 emails in my Outlook. They proudly tell that. I don't know what is the fascination in that. If you have 10,100 emails in your Outlook, it's not something you are supposed to be proud of. It is something which shows your inefficiency to manage the Outlook email. Hope you got the point. So emails are to be used conservatively. Is there an unusual trend? Do you want to notify XYZ people? Then you resort to email. Minutes of meeting. This is also a trend which I have noticed. Every Wednesday there is a meeting which is happening. Thursday the minutes of meeting will be ready. Do you really need to send an email every Thursday? Think. Are we not increasing the internet traffic? Not necessary. Every Wednesday if a meeting is happening and you know that Thursday the minutes of meeting will be ready, what is a good practice? We have to create a SharePoint folder and meeting minutes. Like that we have to create a subfolder and notify once. Please understand, notify once to every stakeholder that, hey buddy, here you can find the minutes of meeting. That's it. We don't have to keep sending the minutes of meeting every Thursday. We are unnecessarily increasing the traffic. Some people, they don't read the email also. Because when I sent an email to 10 people, not all 10 people need that email immediately at the right time. Some people will not even open the email. So let us adopt the pull approach. Pull approach works when the whole world is there in front of you. Explore anything you want. Are you getting that attitude? Where we put everything, project related details, in a single repository. There are different files. Design report, technical report, run report, like that. Project progress report, risk register. Everything is well segregated. Anyone who comes to that SharePoint site, whatever purpose with which they are looking at the SharePoint site, they will be able to see the respective folders. And they will be able to pull the report whatever they want. So what you should do as a project manager, once you send an email to every stakeholder telling that this is the SharePoint site, I have created subfolders. Whatever document you are looking for, kindly look at the respective folders. You will get it. One mail, enough. Then it is a responsibility of the other people to bookmark this SharePoint site. And whenever they need some information, they can pull it. Are you getting that feel of it? They can pull it from the SharePoint site. This is from a project standpoint. I told you this example. But just think, we have got, this LMS, learning management system, where there are recordings of some courses which we are supposed to take up as employees. So whoever, whenever they are available, let's say some people, they would love to spend study time on weekdays. So they will go to the LMS portal and they will pull the recording. Pull doesn't mean you're downloading. They will be accessing that recording on the weekday mornings. But someone else will be more comfortable at the weekend. So those people will be accessing those recordings, pulling those recordings over the weekend. Again, YouTube. I would say YouTube is a concept which works on pull concept, because there are a lot of contents in YouTube. Same topic itself, there are multiple people who are posting videos. But what do? We pull that video which we like to watch. Maybe we liked the narration of that person. Maybe we like that course. So those kind of videos, as an audience, we'll be watching it. So that is what is a pull concept. How easy it is. Just imagine, whenever a YouTube channel uploads a new video, you get an email, new video uploaded. Will you get like that? It doesn't come like that. Instead, it's a single repository wherein we go and search for the topic, we find out the video. But if you have subscribed, you will get a notification in your channel, for that channel, that you have subscribed to this channel and new video has been uploaded by the content creator. Like that, you will get a notification. So that is where I want to tell, in reality, don't be rigid that push, pull, no, nothing in between like that. So when I say YouTube, whenever you watch a video, anytime you can watch, you can rewind, you can pause, you can watch it next week. That is what is a pull concept. But you get a notification in your phone that a new video has been uploaded by this content creator. That is a push notification. But overall, I would say YouTube follows a pull approach. Anytime you can watch any video. That's about pull communication. Now decide, is there any particular approach which is universally successful? I would say no. It is based on the situation. We have to decide, should we go for push, should we go for pull, or should we go for interactive? Now, look at this. Here I have got an entire life cycle of an aircraft launch. Right from design, assembly, testing, pilot training, customer handover. These are the different stages of this aircraft launch project. So just think, if you brainstorm loudly, in the design phase, I want each one of you guys who is listening to think on my behalf. In the design stage, what will be the majority of the communication will be? I would say, this is my personal opinion. It can be varying based on the situation and the way we interpret. What I would say, in a design stage, mostly our discussions will happen. Interaction. You cannot just finalize the design over emails or by uploading one design in the SharePoint site and have a look and then I will make a modification. It doesn't work. Because in the design stage, we need a lot of brains to work together. So interactive will be the best communication in the design stage. Now, in the assembly stage, we have got the design finalized. But do we really need to worry about brainstorming, interaction and all? Not needed. When you talk about assembly, we just need to push some updates to different level of people. Okay, this setup is over. Like that, we have to send an email. Next assembly over. Like that, we have to send an email. So are you getting the feel? This is my personal opinion. In an assembly stage, more of a progress, a status report, a weekly report should go to the senior management people. So I would prefer more of a push communication. That doesn't mean, please listen carefully, the disclaimer, that doesn't mean there is no interaction happening in assembly. My example is mainly focusing on the push concept when I tell in assembly. But same time, we can have interaction also in assembly. Imagine we want to innovate on a particular assembly. Can we do the assembly in a different way? Don't do it over email. Hey, you told no, in assembly only email is there. Not like that. Whenever we are discussing about an innovative solution, then we can go with interactive. Now testing. Testing again, we have got all the test plans finalized. But once every test is over, we cannot keep sharing the test report over email. It doesn't work like that. There will be 100 is a minimum number. Maybe 500 tests is there when you think about launching an aircraft. So what will happen? There is a testing and reliability team. They will be uploading the test reports, massive files, huge files. They'll be uploading the test report onto a SharePoint site. Whoever are the right people who want to validate the test result, they can pull. Hope you got the idea. It is a pull approach, okay? The test reports will be uploaded in a SharePoint site and they can pull it from the SharePoint site. At this juncture, I want to let you guys know, in the design phase also, we can have pull. Because what happens, once interactive discussions is over, there will be some designs made. Revisions will be there, A, B, C, D, like that. So, if people want to see those revisions, they cannot simply keep talking. So there, the revision of the design files, it should be uploaded in a SharePoint site. So what I'm trying to bring is, throughout the phase, you will encounter push, pull and interactive. But make sure you use the right method to convey the right information. Again, pilot training. Do you think pilot training will happen over an email? No. For pilot training, definitely you need good trainers. First of all, someone should be expert in the piloting. And then that trainer should be able to communicate how to train. Maybe they are having a concept of train the trainer. Hundreds of trainers they are going to recruit. Now, these hundreds of trainers, they need to train new pilots. So the only scalable way is interactive. We cannot have a training session done via email. Or we cannot have someone look at the next video to understand how to drive a flight. Okay, like that we cannot do it in a full concept. So there, interactive only will work. Finally, customer handover. Imagine finally we are handing over the flight, the aircraft to the customer. An airline company have purchased, just imagine. We cannot just say verbally, hey boss, thank you so much. This is what you asked, no? Here you go. Like that we cannot tell. That time, we need to have an email sign-off or a proper contract closure is needed. These are the things you have asked in the beginning when you started with the aircraft manufacturing project with us. Please check this document carefully and finally sign off. Email sign off or hard copy document sign off. So that's where push is important. Now let me switch. It's not always email. You can send a snail email, the hard copy of the contract also to the customer. Let them review the contract and then give a feedback. So procedurally going, government policies, all these things, they prefer push because it should be sent via a registered post. Like that, have you heard? The registered post should be received. It doesn't come via a communication. So when the customer handover happens, we need to show the contract and the contract should be signed by the customer. Yes, whatever we have told in the beginning has been done properly by the aircraft manufacturing company. Thank you so much. We are accepting this. Like that, they should sign off. So that's when the push communication comes. But don't again assume only push. There will be a day in which we will invite the customer to our manufacturing center and we will show a walkthrough of how the aircraft is. They can ask questions. Okay, so this feature, how can I use it? Okay, that feature, how can I use it? And what about this? What is the maximum threshold for this? Like that and all, they can be interactive. But that happens over a meeting. But the final closure should happen via a document, which should be signed by both the parties. So that is about customer handover. Now, this is a simple example which I have told you. Don't get into any bias. The purpose is the right communication, push, pull, interactive. Whatever it is you choose, it should be giving the impact. We should not use the wrong communication method. It will backfire. Now, just have a quick recap, guys. Push means what? I will tell you. Check your phone, you will get a message. Like that when you tell to someone, that is what is push. Whenever I leave from my house, I will leave you a message. Keep checking your phone. Are you getting that point? It comes as a push notification in WhatsApp. Ting, like that it will sound. Then we will check our phone. Oh yeah, he has left from his home. I will also leave soon. That is what is push. Pull means what? I will upload the recording. As and when you have time, please go through it. Find it when you need it. Some people may need it next week. Some people may need it immediately. But I have done my part. I have uploaded everything to a cloud server. Whoever require, they can pull it as and when they need it. Finally, interactive. Let's talk. I don't want to sound like monologues. Let me hear from you also. Like that when you think where both parties' inputs are needed or multiple parties' input is needed, that is what is interactive communication, which can happen over a Zoom, WhatsApp call or face-to-face meetings, everything. Okay, that puts an end to this session. Are you serious about PMP? In that case, please click on the StarAgile course link in the description and I will personally guide you through the entire PMP journey. By the way, did you like this video? Then don't forget to like and subscribe our channel. More videos are on the way. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next video.